Hail Fellowship's eternal flame. Once again, midsummer sets us free.
Hello, Internet. Now please, hold on to your butt, as two comedians attempt to talk about serious subjects in a not-so-serious manner. From the mysterious to the utterly vicious, everything is fair game. This is the Kill Them With Comedy podcast, featuring true crime, amazing events, conspiracies, unsolved mysteries, and an array of weird and wonderful topics, all for your enjoyment. You're welcome.
And that proves that even people that you would trust with your life can, at some point, go fucking crazy.
Oh, Christ, that's loud. Jesus.
Howdy.
Mother fucking Christ.
Oh, fucking hell.
What
What the fucking hell's going on there, laddie?
I don't even fucking know. My fucking ears, it just sounded like they were getting fucking bled. It's fucking unbelievable.
It sounded like they were getting bled. Oh,
Yes! Like
bled.
someone had fucking stabbed them and they'd been fucking bleeding. What the fuck did you think I'd been saying?
I didn't know what it meant. I Dunny Drive. A Dunny Drive, son.
Well then, there we go.
How are you, sir?
How you been? Yeah, not bad.
Good.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I've already hit record by accident because
That's fine. Just keep it running because I have a new interesting segment to bring in. You can edit this round whenever you want to do it. Ran out of whiskey. This one is, what's Nathan drinking?
Oh, I like it already.
So this time, right, went
It's
into
the
my
segment
local
in my mind
Waitrose.
already. I just
Yeah. Now it's like I went into the local Waitrose to get something a little bit, and this was down £18 to £25.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's a
Wait.
Dalwhinnie Winter's Gold Highland
Wait.
single malt Scotch whiskey.
You mean 25 down to 18?
No, £18 off down to 25.
Oh, I'm with. Oh, okay. It's still a great deal.
Yeah. Look at this shit. Look at this shit right here. Wait, I'm going the wrong way. Look at that shit.
Is that
Dalwhinnie.
like a round bottle? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, little round bottle.
Oh, shit. I was expecting it to like turn off into like a normal, one of those kind of hip flash shaped bottles, but no shit.
Yeah. No, it's literally, it's just
Wow.
all round, baby. This thing got back.
That bottle got back, baby.
So I'm gonna have a little bit of a dripple of this. See
I had
how it goes.
a little bit of Southern Comfort while I was on here,
Ooh,
and then
it's very smooth.
it's very nice. And then I started drinking my McDonald's milkshake that I've got, and I didn't expect it to go together so well, but it did. It's really nice.
Okay. Let's get it right onto the mic.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh, wow. Cheers.
Oh, it's quite fruity. Cheers.
I don't know what that is. Cheers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely fruity.
Oh, mine's definitely strong.
Yeah, this one's strong as well.
Wow.
Oh, but it is smooth.
Mm.
That's like drinking whiskey butter. That's beautiful.
Oh.
Wow.
I always forget you're not supposed to shot it when I have one of these. I forget the sipping aspect of it. I was like,
Oh yeah, I always. Oh my god, this is 43%. It's not, that tastes like it's a wine.
Yeah.
That's how smooth it is. It's like wine, dude.
That's good and
Jesus.
bad, I suppose.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Was I right in hearing? I heard this at one point that whiskey originally back in the day used to get its colour from the barrels and that, but since things have changed and they're modernised, they usually put colouring in now.
Ooh, I didn't know that. I don't know. It might be for some of the ones, but like I'm pretty sure that's the real stuff. Single malt as well, so it's all been in one barrel.
Yeah, I suppose.
Say Where's the? It doesn't say how old it is.
I don't think they're ever actually as old as people think they are they? Though, like most things
Not
that I've
all
heard.
of them.
Or is that wine that I'm thinking of? Like, I'll say like 2001 now, and that's the kind of date or something.
Yeah. I mean, like the Glenfiddich stuff, it's always like 18-year Glenfiddich and stuff like that. But like, you can never be 100% sure.
No,
but it's good stuff regardless. Like the 18-year-old, there's a distinct like improvement from the 12-year-old. Like it's so much smoother. Like, but this is something else right here.
Is this not the one you normally have? Then you've not had this one before.
Oh no, this is a whole just random experience. This is why I quite like the idea of the segment, because it just gives me an excuse to find whatever whiskey I haven't tried that's on sale at the time.
Yeah.
It won't be every week, because I don't go through whiskey that quickly. But whenever I'm finished on whiskey, we can have another little go at what's Nathan drinking.
I'll join in too. It won't be whiskey, but I'll find something, even if it's just a McDonald's, for example, like
a McDonald's shake.
Yeah, this one, for
delicious
example,
McDonald's shake.
I found it quite funny what it says on this. It just says, "I promise to slurp quietly for you."
But right up against the ear, like.
You can't even do that anymore with these goddamn paper straws. It feels like it's falling apart.
Yeah, they're not good, man. But like at the same time, it does give you the opportunity to have a metal straw and therefore be like an ultimate ninja assassin.
The only thing better than a metal straw would be a metal tree house. And speaking of that, I am joined by the co-host, the creator of the post-apocalyptic metal tree house. And episode 4 is available right now, Mr. Nathan.
Yeah, I'm really happy with episode 4, man.
Yeah,
I'm really happy with it.
I was just drunk and I forgot.
There was. I told you a bit about I think the way Arthur Mulberry was going to turn out, and there were going to be extra bits to that. And
yeah, I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, and it's quite fun. We've got a whole bit where it's no longer just a guy who doesn't understand. Like originally, it was just going to be one sketch of just a guy who didn't understand that chopping someone's legs off was unacceptable to most people. But it just sort of evolved from there, and then turned into like a judge thing. And I managed to do a sort of impression of the old Speaker of the House. Can't remember his name. I think it was John Burko or Burkrow. I can't remember.
The one who left not that long ago.
Yeah, and he's like, order, like that.
Is that what Ed Balls was as well?
I don't know. He might have been, but I'm not sure.
Doesn't matter anyway. Carry on, sorry.
But regardless,
I don't think I know, but it makes sense. So, because I've just been completely ignoring the world for like the past half a week or so, which is healthy nowadays, in my opinion, to do sometimes.
Very healthy thing to do. Especially just when you choose to do it.
Yeah.
If you ever like, should I take some time off of social media? Do it. Just do it. You'll be fine. Nothing will change. Yeah,
that's the weird thing, isn't it? How. I mean, now it makes a lot more sense, obviously, because of the lockdown and all that. But even before, like, when you say, like, I'm just ignoring the world for a bit, that instantly means social media to people. It's just what it is. And it makes sense now. It's weird that was always the case before.
Yeah. Hang on. Woo. It gets to you. No, but it's nice to have a reason to talk to people, at least for like this kind of thing every now and then, something to force you out and make you do something.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely. Yeah,
something to aim for once you're out of it. Like, take your time away from social media, but always remember, like, it's not always a terrible place, and it's very much how you use it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at there, because social media always gets a bad name, but that's because of the people. I do it myself. I'm very like negative on not negative.
Yeah, I'll go to the shit that I constantly don't like. I've started trying to do the opposite, like genuinely tried to do the opposite, and just instead just focus on like the stuff that I like. Like there's a group for a show called The Midnight Gospel on Netflix, which I can't stop talking about enough. I love that show. I go to sleep.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, you were about
that show. Yeah. That show is the fucking business, mate. And Yeah, I just, yeah, I can't remember what I was saying now. Can't remember where I was going with that. This whiskey's strong.
Welcome to my eternal life, sir. No, one thing I was going to say when you were saying that though was I was thinking recently about starting watching something new. There's been a few things I've wanted to watch, and I think I've had a chat with a couple of comedians about the Mandalorian. I think you mentioned it as well.
I've watched about 5 or 6 episodes of it, I think.
Yeah,
and I need to watch the rest of it because, like, obviously it's fucking brilliant, and like even what I've seen so far is brilliant.
Okay.
Because the reason why it's so good, and I'll explain my theory on Star Wars right here.
Okay, because I have
fucking complex.
Afterwards, I have something that I want to show you, then, which kind of goes against what you said, but that's interesting. So please continue.
Okay. But the reason why is because it's sort of a film theory thing. I'm a bit of an obsessive weirdo when it comes to film. I like to sort of take things apart and dissect them. Now,
media,
the original,
I'm the same. Cool.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's fun. You can go, that's how they did this. This is how that technique works.
You get to a point you can't help but do it.
Yeah, and so Star Wars was originally based on a Japanese saga, which I can't remember the fucking name of at the moment. But it was basically all to do with this samurai and his sort of journey through with all of his friends and stuff, like literally beat for beat taken out of this story, made Star Wars what it is, right? And that sort of formula of following the old samurai movies of back in the day and that translating to Star Wars, that's what gives you that backbone of why those original movies feel so like resilient, if you know what I mean.
It just makes perfect sense as well when you say it. Just two things. Yeah.
Whilst the sort of prequel ones maybe not quite as much, they went in different directions for each movie. There was no real like solid consolidating thing that was happening in it, in my opinion. It was all leading to something which we knew was going to happen, but it's all like, you know, not quite as interesting because it's not based on something that's trying to emulate and grow and like turn into its own thing. Instead, it's just trying to get from A to B so that B can start that point.
It wouldn't have felt like it was going somewhere particular if we hadn't have obviously known at that point it was going somewhere particular.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, that still lends that trilogy to a certain extent some moments that are really iconic because of that structure and because of the way it works.
I'm a Jar Jar
fan. The new ones.
Popular opinion.
Yeah.
I like Jar Jar.
Yeah. And then you get to the new ones, the Disney ones. Now, those don't have anything that they are trying to emulate or modify or make their own and turn into something new. They are just sort of growing from the old stuff. Now, that's fine if you can do it in the right way, but they don't necessarily pull it off in all of those movies. I would argue still that the first one's pretty good. I would argue that Rogue...
I agree with what you're saying. Apart from Force Awakens, I think that one very much followed the old formula, which was why it was so good, I think.
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah. That one is good. Rise of the Skywalker, it was just weird, and
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, I don't understand why they had to do it that way. And just to get rid of just such a anyway.
And you can say that to so many different points in it too.
But but that's the thing, because it's not trying to emulate something, and I think Star Wars is at its core, the best thing it does is emulation of other things. In a lot of ways, that's why a lot of the expanded universe stuff works really well as well, because it's all sort of expanding on this original idea and sort of adding its own touches. Like Boba Fett is a bounty hunter. That's always been its own sort of common theme. And that leads us to the Mandalorian, because the Mandalorian embraces that solely and entirely and goes, okay, then what we're going to base this Star Wars thing around is the Wild West. And that gives it that same core again. it's got that sort of familiar but not quite what you thought it was vibe. There's sort of ways it can surprise you because it's working with a formula you already know, i.e. the kid being protected by the mad or the brilliant gunslinger in the West, but now it's in space and there's ATSTs walking about, and it's fantastic shit, man. It's really good because it follows this sort of this core.
Is that the walking things you're on about?
Yeah, the chicken walker. Yeah,
the big robot things. Yeah, the thing. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I love those. Although the AT-AT was better, the big fucking stumpy ones with the facey lasers, like ba 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 ba.
That might be what I'm thinking of in that case. And I'm thinking of the old one. Yeah. So you're a fan of the Mandalorian then, from what you've seen so far?
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, it's brilliant, and I think that's the reason why, because it's got a core of something that it's turning into its own thing, and I think that's when Star Wars is its best.
Yeah, see, I was gonna watch Mandalorian recently. I was gonna start watching it, but I've just never been that big of a fan of Star Wars. Like, it's not that new Star Wars I'm not that big of a fan of, especially but more so the side stories and all them, like Rogue One and Han Solo and all them.
See, I really liked Rogue One. That's the thing. I thought Rogue One was genuinely a brilliant film, but again, for the same reasons that I've said before, because it's not just a Star Wars movie. Instead, what it's basically trying to be is the Guns of Navarone. If you see what I mean.
I have no idea.
Did you ever see the Guns of Navarone? Guns of Navarone. In fact, we might do the Guns of Navarone on this at some point. Then, if you don't know about the Guns of Navarone, bro, because fuck me, is that a story? But like big Nazi guns, enormous Nazi guns during World War II that were just shore batteries that could fuck up anything that came near them. These guys all went in. They put a load of stuff up. They blew those motherfuckers up. Nothing happened after that. Fucking great story, but that's what they're copying. It's a war movie. It's a ragtag group of soldiers working together. It's like Fury or Saving Private Ryan, something like this. There's an objective, but there's this military thing going on. I fucking love that movie.
Wasn't it
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me. I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
The blind dude.
Yeah. Fucking love that dude. He is the fucking coolest.
He was quite cool from what, I remember him being quite cool, to be fair.
Yeah, and have you played Last Jedi? God's sake, man.
There's a game.
Have you not? Bro, Last Jedi is like next level stuff. Next level stuff, dude.
Really?
Oh my god. Oh my god, dude. You have oh my god, dude.
I need to have a quick look at this now.
Oh my god, dude. It's so good. Like, it's so good.
Let's have a look, see. Because I do like my games. It's just I've been so
you have to play The Last Jedi, dude.
Okay, this is just really surprising. Okay. Oh, Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Okay, that
Fallen Order.
No, that's what I'm thinking of Battlefield anyway. That was one, wasn't it? Battlefield?
But yeah, Fallen Order. Jedi Fallen Order is fucking supreme, bro. Okay. It's so fucking good. It's so fucking good.
But yeah, Mandalorian, I was going to watch it the other day. Like, I was going to watch it.
While I eat some nuts.
Yeah, you go ahead, sir. I was going to watch it the other day, and then I got a random letter through from someone. I didn't know who it was from, and it was lucky because, and this is from a fan. It's definitely not for me. Like, definitely not me. That would just be silly. It's from a fan. Of course. Yeah. But this is from a fan, though, who watched Mandalorian and he wasn't happy with it, and he decided he was going to send a thing to Disney Plus.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think he thought...
amazing.
I know.
It's amazing. I wonder why.
Well, I think he thought first that he was going to send it to me just as a little warning because maybe he heard us talking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, he's like, bro, you got to understand right now, I'm not happy with these people.
And I mean, like I said, it's not me or anything. It's not like I would be afraid of like, all these Star Wars fans kicking off because people love Star Wars.
Yeah, nah.
But
they're notorious for being like really level-headed fans.
Really level-headed. Almost so like Trekkies, you know, they're just chill.
Yeah, just so chill about it. Just
super chill, exactly. So I might give their name. We'll see at the end because I don't know if I want to, you know, like put them in the poop. But this is what they sent me. Dear Disney Plus, I tried watching Mandalorian recently. It didn't go well. I tried to watch your program, The Mandalorian, after it had been just suggested to me by a couple of people that I know. However, I feel I must inform you that I found it a hard task to complete.
Oh dear.
Now, a big part of the problem, I'm going to call this person Bob, I think, from now on, for Bob. A big part of the problem for Bob was the apparent badass bounty hunter, whose name I do not even remember, Mandalorian Man, I think, is what Bob says. So Mandalorian Man, he continues, landed on a...
It's amazing this man manages to get the entire name plus man. His
memory is good considering he only watched... He didn't get very far through. He goes on to say...
He didn't get very far through. He got through the titles, though, so he saw that.
So he continues, Mandalorian Man landed on a desert planet, on a desert-looking planet. Big surprise for Star Wars. However, as soon as he landed and got out of his ship, he almost got killed by these two things that look like very slow rhinos with only 2 legs, but no horn. And this dude was snuck up by not just one of them, but 2 of these fuckers. I am ad-libbing a little bit for Bob because, you know.
Yeah, you got to make sure he feels passionate about this shit. We know what you feel, Bob.
He's written it too passionately. His grammar does not make sense. It's almost as if he read this at about 3 a.m. in the morning when he was a little bit high and thought, fuck that program.
Wow.
I know, yeah. But he continued to say,
now I know what kind of person we're dealing with.
Yeah. Fucking Bob. Not only were these creatures slower than a rhino because, as we said, they only have 2 legs, they also lack the horn that makes the rhino a peaceful beast of an animal, which is still better than a slow, top-heavy, flesh-nosed, fake rhino-looking thing that apparently can outsmart and somehow creep up on a trained badass of a bounty hunter. a bounty hunter that was actively checking out the stretched area of desert around him. He just got out of a spaceship. Can he not scan the area to check for any slow, clunky animals that may also happen to be ninja masters? And he would have been straight up dead if it wasn't for Warwick Davis, aka the host of Tenable, saving him out of literally nowhere, which, come to think of it, means 3 of those things got to jump on him because Warwick Davis was riding one, and people wonder why this particular person, Bob, I'm going to assume, thinks Star Wars is cheesy. And that was less than 30 minutes into a program in a universe that is already filled with bad films and random stories I do not care about, in between some good films I really like. Because of this, I am now issuing the Mandalorian Man ban. WandaVision was really good, though, so you may keep my money. And that's what he sent to Disney Plus. Mr. Bob. So Bob said,
Bob, mate, like, don't get me wrong. like, I appreciate your messaging in, but I'm going to take your review with a pinch of salt on some nuts.
I think Bob might have gone on for a little bit too long there, personally. Bob, you cut that down next time. God, come on. What to us?
I think it worked. I think Bob got his point across perfectly, mate.
Oh, he got his point across. That for sure. He does not like Mandalorian, it seems.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, definitely reasons why not to. I mean, there was
the whole Gina
Carano thing. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just before we get on to that, this came through just before I was about to watch it, so you know it saved me. So after listening to what he said or reading what he said, so I would have thought the exact same thing if I'd have watched that, and I would have not wanted to watch the rest of it either. I really hope someone changes my mind in the future. I don't. Yes.
Your mind. Do you mean Bob's mind?
Yes. Yes. Damn it.
And I would have got away from it if it wasn't for you meddling comedians.
WandaVision is quite good, though. I have been enjoying that. That's the only reason I personally
haven't watched that yet. I do need to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm quite looking forward to the Stars thing to come on there as well. Did you see the Star thing?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, like, there's going to be Family Guy on there, American Dad, Cleveland Show, shitloads of old Fox stuff. Like, there's Buffy the Vampire Slayer going to be on there. There's going to be 24 on there.
I do really like
God damn it. Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, I started bleeping out your births when you do it now.
That's a good idea.
Only in the middle, so you hear the blatant beginning and the end, and then it's just... Yes,
I like it.
What was that thing again? I forgot that woman's name. I don't think
Gina Carano.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if I'm missing something about what happened there, but explain your understanding of what happened there, because I feel like I must be missing something.
She put a load of stuff up on the internet about how she is a anti-masker and a Trump supporter and all that kind of stuff, and was told not to do anything about it a while ago, supposedly, or at least that's what people have sort of thought. And then she kept on like posting other stuff, and now she posted a load of stuff. Okay. Yeah, and now she's posted this most recent thing, which was basically comparing being a Trump supporter to being a Jew during the Holocaust. And it's like, don't get me wrong. The thing is, I'm in this unfortunate position of being in the grey area. Like, I 9 times out of 10 find myself in all of these fucking situations. Because yes,
Holocaust,
Disney have the reason to fire her because she won't stop fucking about with their brand ultimately, and that's the way they see it. They have the right to do whatever the fuck they want. But
Walt Disney was a huge anti-Semite to begin with.
Yeah, and also Disney is sort of quite heavily tied financially to Chinese government and stuff like that, and praising them and stuff like that. They ain't cool. But you see, this is the thing. She was talking about when the Jews were in the ghettos, and it was their neighbours that were bringing out. I'm trying to compare that to being a Trump supporter, and it's like, look, okay, is it a bad take? Yes, it's a bad fucking take. It's a dumbass take. It's the kind of take that I probably would have had about something when I was fucking 15 or 16 and thought I knew everything about the world and was like, no, but yeah, because like Hitler, yeah. And it's like, yeah, it's a dumb fucking take that a kid would come up with.
Yeah.
But is she actually being racist in that thing? Is she actually being anti-Semitic in that thing? I'm not sure that's the intent.
See,
whether you want to read it that way or not is different. But it's just the dumbest fucking take in the world, and it should just be seen as a dumb fucking take.
I heard it different in regards to what she was saying, because I haven't seen the original tweets or anything. I was listening to, I can't remember what it was now. I think it was Tim someone. I forget his name. I was listening to something anyway, and they were talking about what she apparently said. And from what they were saying she was comparing that, what the Nazis did back in the day, back in like the 30s or whatever it was. Yeah, 30s, to get the civilization to a point, Germany, to a point where they followed the Nazis and went to war, was by getting a field and then get to the point where essentially hated their neighbours, and then once they were there and they were angry enough, they could then go on to do whatever they were doing with the war. And she was saying,
that's one way of interpreting. That's one way of interpreting it. Like there was literally a picture that she posted.
Okay.
that had like, when the Jews were run out of the things, it wasn't Gestapo officers that were hitting them, it was it was their neighbors and their friends by turning the people against them. So that's sort of one interpretation of what she was saying. But again, it's a bad fucking take.
Is it one of them
literally a high school kid would have come up with? It's
is
not
it one of them? I'm thinking about like the language of what she and like say, well, I'm sure she didn't mean this or this, or you could mean this.
Noisy body sounds at the moment. Sorry.
But I jumped straight to do that, like with the language for it. But I'm guessing from the sounds of it, she's just kind of silly with what she posts, and she thinks her points are really, really good,
really valid, and no one ever has possibly thought of these things before. No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
crazy. You can get.
It's a good thing she's not a politician, and she's just a UFC fighter, because was a UFC fighter. Cause she's fucking great at that, and a reasonable actress. So I'm sure she'll get work eventually. But she's just got to learn to just go. You know what? Maybe just don't bring up Jews in the Holocaust, because it's a sensitive topic, and maybe.
I mean, I know that's what you're saying. Like, that's what it is, basically. That's the reality.
Yeah.
But should it be that? Should you get fired from your show just for however?
I don't think you should get.
I
don't think you should necessarily get fired. I think, especially as it's hypocritical for Disney to do it the way they've done it. But
yeah, that's a whole nother thing, isn't it?
But that's the thing, man. Like, I don't run Disney. I don't know what their metrics are. I don't know whether this has done a boost for their sales, or because you got to remember, there's a lot of people out there at the moment who are waving the other flag of like, yeah, get rid of her, fuck that bitch.
Of course,
they're getting extra fucking subscriptions because of that, because they've done this sort of this posturing and gesturing. Like, it's a company, they're trying to maximize their profits. So
I mean, it's
just ignore anything they do that they're saying for any fucking social or political reason. All they give a shit about is how much money they're going to make at the end of the day because of what they've done,
and how it could affect the money that they're going to make.
Because that's all they care about realistically is their shareholders.
You know what? It makes perfect. I don't know why we're even like surprised about it, because thinking back, it's Disney, and Disney did the same thing to James Gunn, and that's James Gunn.
Yeah, and they've rehired James Gunn again recently as well. So give it like 4 years, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you want to do that series that we were going to do with you?" And she'll be like, "Yeah." And they're going, "Are you going to do any more of those tweets?" And she'll be like, "I don't know. I would do it anyway."
Fake name, like just make a fake name if you want to put that kind of stuff.
Yeah, have an anonymous account and just sort of spout weird shit off of that.
Yeah. How do you feel about whether, like, as a comedian, like, you should have the ability to get away with saying more shit online, or just putting stuff out there? But I definitely think target to.
Yeah, I absolutely do. I've had to stand up for people doing that before, and I will do it again every single fucking time. There was I won't use their name, but there was someone who was trying to call out another comedian for something that doesn't deserve to be called out for. It was just a silly joke between him and a friend. And lo and behold, this guy is sort of screaming, "Oh, we've got to cancel this guy." And I'm like, no, can't do it for that. There are real reasons to blacklist someone or to cancel someone. And those are serious fucking things. Someone just making a joke. And again, you're a fucking comedian. You know that someone is, who else is a comedian, is probably trying to be funny.
Yeah.
So
let's be
just
honest.
Assume that. Let's assume that the core of whatever any comedian says is usually trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And then funny. You're gonna have a better time. Yeah.
And it's also like the fact that it even happens on our level still as well, because obviously we're not right top or anything, but it's like even on our levels it still happens, and you see it a lot.
Yeah. And either everything is fair game or nothing is. That is a very, very true statement. And there are people who go, "Oh, but you can't say this about that." And it's like, yeah, well, you can't. But you can talk about a subject. A subject is not off the table if you know how to talk about it correctly.
Yeah,
And
no
also, a joke can get as dark as you are willing to take it if you word it correctly, if you build it up correctly. If this is why when people take like chunks out of a stand-up set and go, well, look at this line which is horrific, talking about like a fucking baby murder or something, it's like, yeah, but they built up to that over 20 minutes. That's halfway through the set. They are literally just building up to this crescendo, and you're gonna take that bit. Fuck off. It's ridiculous.
Like the Comedy Store had it right. Like I think it was Comedy Store. I might be getting the name wrong, but like back like 20 years ago with the whole Joe Rogan and Carlos Mencia thing, like they had a rule that you couldn't record anything in the club, like, and that stuff like that happening.
Yeah. You just take the phones away. Don't let people do that shit. And yeah, the thing that annoys me is that comedy, actual genuine comedy, and there's always this thing about, oh well, they can't have right-wing comedians aren't funny, or the other thing of like, or the other thing of like, oh well, left-wing comedians are all woke and they're all too like alt and they can't be. I would describe myself as left-wing, but I don't think there is anything that stops someone who's right-wing being funny, because what comedy is about, what true comedy is about, is what you find funny. Like that is what is going to work on stage. That's what's going to work in a sketch show or on a podcast like this. Do you find it funny? Are you trying to be authentic about how you find humor? If so, you're being a good comedian. You know,
it's like they say like as well, you get to the point where you're best when you stop giving a shit how people react, just because it's just being you, I guess. You know, you just got to figure out a way to be
authenticity. Authenticity is absolute key in every fucking aspect of comedy, because if you're not being true to who you are, then you just end up being hack. You know what I mean? You just end up being this guy. And
I imagine you can't keep it up either. You can't keep up that pretense all the time, and then you do like comedian podcasts and stuff. You know, it's like you'd have to keep it as character. I agree with you. I've thought about that before. I just couldn't do it. I just want to just be me, and because I think that's what I meant when I was saying before, like a while ago on the New Year thing, about how all this lockdown stuff's kind of helped me figure out what kind of comic I want to be.
Yeah, definitely.
It's basically made me realize what you just said then about how you just want to be yourself.
Yeah, just be your authentic self. And like a lot of the comedians who kept doing things through the lockdown, you know, you've sort of seen them. You've seen them become more the comedians that they want to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I suppose that depends.
Everyone started specializing a little bit. Everyone started like figuring out what works best for them. What's the sort of it's really interesting to watch. I'm really enjoying it.
And there's some cool stuff out at the moment as well.
There really is. There's some really good comedians like doing some really good work.
I meant to say, Leanne, because basically me with Facebook, I've always been the same. Like I see a notification come through, I forget it's there, I get rid of it. I get a weird like anxiety feeling when I see a message.
I don't want to watch it. I don't want to look at it.
And I think she put something on. Did she put the Lambrini episode on today?
Lambrini with Leanne episode. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'll have to check it out.
I think it's a top-notch episode. I've had to cut things around and do a little bit of editing flair on it, but I think you'll like it, mate. I think you'll like it.
Nah, bang. I'm just that'd be cool to see, man.
Yeah. I've got brand new software as well. I went from using the freeware stuff like Audacity, and Blender to using a full Adobe package. I've got every single Adobe application available for £30 a month.
Sorry, I was looking at
a quick little lesson in finance.
I'll cut the finance bit because that might not be too entertaining for people.
It might be a bit dull.
Yeah. Oh yes. There was something else I was going to mention. Did you see Elon Musk again? He was back on Joe Rogan.
Yes, I did. I got halfway through the interview. I've got to finish it off at some point, but yeah.
Same basically. Yeah. There was one bit in there that just really made me laugh. I had to make a note of it. I'm sure you probably must have saw in that case. The fact that when they were making the rocket and he only decided he told him it had to be more pointy because of the dictator.
It needs to be more pointy because of the dictator, yes. and is that better? And he goes like, technically it's a little bit worse.
Yeah. Since one of the times I talked to you, I've watched some of the podcast back and watched different little bits, and I've come to the decision he's hilarious. He's very
I do like it. He was way better in this interview. Like, he's clearly relaxed a bit more around Joe. Like, they've obviously like talked between it as well, because he's always like texting him and stuff.
Yeah, you can tell.
Like, so they feel a bit more friendly. So like, you got to see Elon Musk not robotic, if that makes sense. And it was genuinely nice to see. And like, he was talking about the way Mars is going to be set up. It's like, okay, you go build the base, then you expand the base to the point where you can start to, build on your own, and then you get the city, and actually you can get the fuel to get back from Mars on Mars, because what you do is you take the carbon dioxide that's in the ground and the air and all that kind of stuff, and mix it with the ice water that's at the poles, and then you can turn that into using an electrolysis. I think it's an electrolysis type effect or something like that. But you turn them basically into rocket fuel.
Yeah,
and then it's like, off you go again, like, launch yourself off from Mars. And like, if you manage to get to the point where you can go back and forth from Mars without having to constantly take fuel to Mars to do that, oh my god, that's the next step.
Every 6 months or something, they were saying would be in a position to go.
Yeah, and also, like, you'd have to use way less fuel getting off of Mars than you would getting to Earth, because it's like a third of the gravity. Yeah. So it's just like, whoop, off we go. Or 2/3 the gravity, I can't remember.
60, for some reason 60%, because that's what I was thinking a second ago. So
yeah, it's about 2/3 the gravity, isn't it?
Yeah. I was thinking a sixth at first, then I thought, no, it can't be that. You just float off.
No, that's the moon. That's the sixth. Yeah. The moon's a sixth. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a brilliant one as well, man. If we can get to the moon base bit, and we've got a built moon base, and then we construct stuff in space, and then we can fucking launch back and forth from Mars.
And he said this is like 3 years, and they'd have regular flights, but that wasn't with people. That was something else, wasn't it? I forget what it was.
Yeah, and he was talking about we want in about 5 years to have like reliable like missions to Mars, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, mate. Yes, Elon. Fucking do it, mate.
I never saw just about one of the older podcasts I saw with him, because I watched them back, like I said, and I didn't see before about him getting all shit scared about AI, talking about that he went to try and warn people, but no one listened. So now he's just kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He's got to try and do the best he can with what's happened.
Yeah. I like that he pointed out that it wasn't necessarily doom and gloom. That isn't necessarily going to be, it will appear and kill us. But it could.
It definitely could.
Yeah.
Very easily it could.
But I was thinking about it.
But at the same time, it can also make, buying food easier. Yeah. So
we're already we're not in AI already, but we're already in like a technological world most of the time, like Facebook, what we were saying,
Yeah.
That is it, just with the interface being a bit slower, like you was also saying.
I mean, I'm interested to see most of all, out of all of the stuff that Elon Musk is working with, where Neuralink goes.
Is that like,
you know what I mean?
Is that the one where it's like the thing implanted in your brain?
They sort of drill a 2p piece size hole in your skull, then put a piece of metal in there and like attach the wires to different like parts of your brain.
Yeah.
And it increases your ability to think drastically, and suddenly you can do all these other things. But like, the initial thing they're going to be doing is like putting it into paraplegics and tetraplegics, people who literally are just completely, paralyzed, and going like, okay, so now you can control your computer perfectly. And then ultimately, once you combine that with like exosuit technology and stuff like that, you can have someone like that in like a suit which they can control using their mind,
So
and that can move their fingers and stuff like that for them.
who's going to be the first superhero who's the paraplegic people?
Yeah, goddamn right. Oh my god, yeah, absolutely. There's a game I fucking love called The Surge. I used to do a stream a while ago when I was trying to do streaming at one point, and I played through The Surge, and fuck me, mate, I love that game. Like, you start off the game and you're on a big ass like train into a facility called the Cryo facility, and you just sat down, you're chilling out, you're looking around, everything's cool, and you sat down, and then the train stops, and you get control of the character, and you're in a wheelchair, and you're just rolling along. And you can sort of, there's a bit where you get to a ramp and you can just sort of let go of it and you start speeding down the ramp, and you only stop when you grab it again. Like, they've put effort into programming this wheelchair. But then it only lasts about 10 minutes, because you're then put into a mech suit, basically, in a horrific video where, like, it doesn't inject you with the anesthetic first, so you just get, like, drilled in the spine with, like, massive pieces of metal and shit like that. But then you're in this exosuit, so you've gone from, like, disabled guy to the guy who's going to save the fucking world with your exosuit.
Yeah.
Love that shit, man.
I was thinking of Doom then. That's not Doom.
Mm-mm.
Doom's got something very similar to that. No, there's another game I've played where there's a...
No, it's well, maybe.
Maybe I've played it. I don't know. It sounds very familiar. God knows,
Wolfenstein had a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I love
where you
that
start
game.
off. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Rolling around in a wheelchair, and you're like, there's Nazis all around, and you like load the gun, and you're like just wrecking people with the pistol.
Yeah. Okay, that's most definitely it in that case. I really like
Wolfenstein's good.
Yeah, but I just realised we've been chatting poop for 53 minutes already.
Yeah,
or probably about 45 because I was on recording for a bit before. So I think we need to get on with the first story, Nathan. Have you ready?
Yeah, right. I have mine. So, this week's story for me is simply titled United Airlines Flight 629.
Okay.
You ever heard of this?
I mean, I can think of a few, like, aeroplane things, but I don't know which one that is just,
Okay. So, it was a DC-6 aircraft, also known as Mainliner Denver, because that was its main sort of route. It was on 1995, going between Longmont, Colorado, United States, at about 7:03 p.m. local time, while en route to Denver, Colorado, to Portland, Oregon. While en route while en route from Denver, Colorado to Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington, all 39 passengers and crew members on board were killed in an explosion when a dynamite bomb placed in the luggage went off.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So 1955. Like, I had no idea about this shit until it was told to me on another podcast I listened to in America, and it was just mentioned offhand as like this thing, and I started reading about it. My God, dude, this gets interesting, right? So
they're normally some of the most interesting ones, the ones you just hear, and then you just, I'm going to listen.
Yeah, and it's just like, it just sparks something in your head. You're like, oh, that's going to be one. I know this is going to be one, right? So United Airlines Flight 629 had originated at the New York City's LaGuardia Airport and made its scheduled stop in Chicago before continuing to Denver's Stapleton Airfield, and landed at 6:11 p.m. At Denver, the aircraft was refueled with 3,400 US gallons of fuel, and a crew replacement, Captain Lee Hall, a World War II veteran, assumed command of the flight for segments to Portland and Seattle. Right? Yes. So far, everything's gone fine on the flight. No issues at all. But from Denver, the flight took off at 6:52, and at 6:56, it made its last transmission. 6 minutes later, Stapleton air traffic controllers saw two bright lights suddenly appear in the sky northwest of the airport. Both lights were observed for 30 to 45 seconds, and both fell to the ground. The controllers then saw a very bright flash originating at or near the ground, intense enough to illuminate the base of the clouds above the source of the flash.
Okay,
so a big fucking explosion.
Yeah.
Right? This thing was fully fueled, and it's just been blown up, and it crashes into the ground.
Blew up in the sky and then crashed to the ground and then blew up again.
Literally just ba-bam, and then all the fuel just detonates on impact.
Yeah.
Upon observing the mysterious lights, the controllers quickly determined there were no aircraft in distress and contacted all aircraft flying in the area. All flights were quickly accounted for, apart from Flight 629. So, numerous phone calls soon began coming in, with farmers and other residents near Longmont reporting loud explosions and fiery debris falling from the sky. The ground searchers who searched the crash site determined that all 44 people on the aircraft were killed. The ages of the victims ranged from 81 years to 13 months old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the debris from the accident was scattered across 6 square miles of the county. Extensive in-air breakup of the entire aircraft had occurred, and in the center sections were found in 2 craters 46 meters apart. The fires were so intense that despite efforts to extinguish them, they continued to burn for 3 days. Like, this thing was a fucking bomb when it went off.
3 days it just kept going for.
Just burning the fucking area around it, the fuel just like constantly relighting and like setting fire to stuff. Just horrible shit. Because like once it's in that kind of section and it's like falling fiery debris and then it explodes, it's just sending that shit everywhere. So if it's a remotely dry day, then there's a little bit of kindling. That bit will start over there. By the time you finish that bit started over there. It's just there's another one to hide.
I don't get all like the swears. I miss a lot of the swears. I started doing it at the beginning. And
I don't think the swears matter.
Only at the beginning for YouTube, you know. It's the only reason.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's the first like 30 seconds of it, isn't it? Or
something like that. Yeah, I just do like the first 5 minutes normally, or however long I remember. So 2-3 minutes.
Yeah. Right. Suspicions that a bomb had been placed in the luggage loaded aboard the aircraft started to appear, and they thought it might have happened when the aircraft was being fueled. The discovery of the 4 pieces of an unusual grade of sheet metal, each covered in grey soot, sort of suggested, this was an intentional bombing. This is not something that's accidentally gone off. Further testing of the cargo pit showed that each piece was contaminated with chemicals known to be byproducts of a dynamite explosion, the origin of which was believed to be the passenger's luggage.
Yeah.
There we go. So now we've got our first But why would someone put a bomb in their luggage?
To blow it up?
Yeah. But this is the thing.
It's a quite an obvious answer.
But here's the thing: who wanted to blow it up? Was it a terrorist thing? Was it something like this? Like the FBI start to investigate, and they're all but certain that the aircraft was brought down by the bomb. They perform background checks on the passengers. Right.
Mm-hmm.
At earlier stages of the investigation. Before, by the way, they started to check out the United Airlines management being locked in a dispute with the union, and they were going like, oh, well, was it the union who did this? Yeah. Surprise, it's not the union. The truth was far... Yeah. But the truth was significantly more callous. Okay? This shit is fucking nasty. After the initial checks, they focused their efforts on Denver locals, citing that they may have personal enemies. A few passengers had purchased life insurance at the airport just before boarding. One such insuree was a local, Daisy Eldora King.
Oh, just to interrupt for 1 second. They sell life insurance at the airport.
Yeah, because a lot of people would, just before they go on the airport, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna die! Oh, I'm gonna die! Oh, I'm gonna need to leave something for my kids. I'm gonna sell it." Yeah. Like literally, that happens to people.
Yeah.
People panic that much that they get sales of life insurance at the airport.
Yeah, actually, that makes perfect sense. Actually, yeah, it does.
Yeah, and this is America. You got to make your money.
Yeah, and it's the 50s too.
Mm-hmm.
Even now, it's all about the money, baby.
And who can argue? Like, it works.
Money, but you need it. It's annoying.
Yeah. I kind of wish I didn't need it, and I've never been that great at getting my hands on it. So,
I'm gonna get my hands on it. I'm not good at keeping it.
That's a problem, innit?
Yeah. Well, it's not a problem at the time. It's fun, to be honest with you. But
yeah, it's the same with this whiskey. I mean,
yeah. For me, it's normally however long the weed I buy with it lasts. So
yeah, basically the same with me. Yeah.
We're simple people.
Simple people with simple tastes, just trying to get out there and make people laugh with stories about death. So,
positive note.
Yeah. So, one such insuree was Daisy Eldora King, 53, a Denver businesswoman who was en route to Alaska to visit her daughter. When agents identified her handbag, they found a number of newspaper clippings containing information about King's son, John Gilbert Graham. That name is going to be very important.
There you go. Strong
Graham.
name.
Yeah, Graham, beneficiary of both her life insurance policies and her will. Agents also discovered that one of Mrs. King's restaurants, a Crown A drive-in in Denver, had been badly damaged in an explosion. Graham had insured the restaurant and then collected the property insurance following the mysterious blast.
He insured the restaurant?
He insured the restaurant.
Oh, so it was her restaurant.
Suddenly it went up in flames.
Oh, he insured it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Subsequently, agents searched Graham's house and automobile. They found wire and other bomb-making parts in the garage, which were identical to those found in the wreckage. They also found an additional £37,500, £357,900 in today's money, in life insurance policies. However, Mrs. King had not signed either these policies or those purchased at the airport, rendering them worthless. Graham told FBI agents that his mother had packed her own.
Sorry, he's willing to do all these other things, but he's not going to forge his signature. No.
Yeah, not going to forge a signature and actually get the money. No, because you've seen where this is going. It's quite clear. You can't really, not see at this point. The guy's got everything. He's got the equipment. He's got the motive. Yeah.
Until proven guilty, Nathan.
Until proven guilty. Well, we'll get to that. Graham told FBI agents that his mother had packed her own suitcase. However, his wife Gloria revealed that Graham had wrapped a present for his mother on the morning of the day of Mrs. King's ill-fated flight. Faced with the mounting evidence and discrepancies in his story, on November the 13th, 1955, Graham confessed. He said, "I then wrapped about 3 or 4 feet of binding cord around the sack of dynamite to hold the dynamite sticks in place around the caps. The purpose of the 2 caps was in case of one of the caps had failed to function and ignite the dynamite. I placed the suitcase in the trunk of my car with another smaller suitcase which my mother had packed to take with her on a trip." Graham planted the bomb in his mother's suitcase in an apparent move to murder his mother, obviously.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why. So, about Graham, we're just going to sort of get into the man, the myth, the legend. John Gilbert Graham.
Try and get into his mindset to understand how he thought this was the best way to go about killing his mother. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we could have gone with an automobile accident. You could have gone with a poisoning. You could have gone with an accidental shooting.
Maybe
you could have gone with
anything that draws less attention than blowing up a plane full of people.
Yeah, and killing 44 people.
Yeah.
44!
If you're only doing it for the one as well, I thought it was going to be like a terrorist thing or something like that, or group or something that, I don't know, but geez.
Yeah. No, but this is far, far worse. This is somehow worse. Because it's all for greed. At least those people think they're fighting for something. Like, this is just a dickhole of a human.
Yeah, stupidity comes into it all the time, but this is even more stupid, considering what your end game is that you want.
What a paper trail!
Yeah, the objective you're going for, this is not how you go about it.
No. This may be
saying do anything, don't go about it at all.
Yeah, this may be the deadliest dumbass in history.
Yeah.
Like, without a shadow of a doubt, the deadliest dumbass in history. Because who the fuck wasn't going to investigate this shit?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's so much noise. You just why? I mean, maybe his logic at the time was thinking, I do this, they'll think it's some, I don't know, terrorism. Well, like a war-y kind of stuff, I suppose, was more the thing back then in the 50s. But you think they'd never be. So then get rid of the bomb at least in the house and the wires.
Yeah.
Leave it there.
Leave it there. Just leave it there. It's all good. Fucking moron. Absolute moron.
I love humans. I love people.
Yeah, willing to plan all this shit, but can't really bother to go through with hiding.
Stupidity is amazing. I'm endlessly fascinated with it. That's what it is. Endlessly.
Yeah, and it never ceases to intrigue you more. Like each time you think there's no further level to this, you can't go dumber than that. You can always go dumber. You can always go dumber.
Lovely people, nice people, like giving people, they're lovely to read about. It's nice to know about all that too. It's really fun. But the real fun stuff in history is the dumbass fucking stuff that's happened. And there's a lot of it.
The absolute fucking
creme de la creme of dumbness.
Yeah, the chef's kiss of balls to the wall stupidity. So, Graham was born on January 23rd, 1932, the child of Daisy Graham and her second husband. Nicknamed Jack, Graham was Daisy's second child, as she already had a daughter from her first marriage. He was born during the height of the Great Depression, and in 1937 his father died from pneumonia, causing Daisy to send the young Jack to an orphanage. This is where the problems start. In 1941, Daisy was married for the third time to Earl King, who died shortly after the marriage. Using her inheritance from King's death, Daisy became a successful businesswoman. But despite her newfound wealth, Daisy did not collect Graham from the orphanage.
How old was he at this point?
1941. He would have been
9
years old.
Yeah.
9 years old. So, sort of abandoned a 9-year-old in an orphanage
during the war.
During the depression, and then during the war, and
a 41.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be still.
Yeah, depression straight into World War II. Literally, just this poor kid in a world of hurt and pain and anguish.
Well, it was World War II and then the depression, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Oh, there was a depression into the World War and then out of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't imagine during the war was a very happy time. So yeah.
Yeah. The two remained estranged until 1954, when Graham was 22 years old, and Daisy King was running a successful restaurant, the one which he burned. So apparently, after their relationship, King and Graham had a poor relationship, and were often seen arguing. Basically, investigators later discovered that Graham had a criminal record for embezzlement by check forgery and an illegal transport of whiskey, which respect that at least. Like, that's the only redeeming feature of you bastard, Graham.
Embezzlement and all that. It's not a violent thing. You're just trying to get money. I wouldn't be good someone for that either.
He'd served 60 days in prison, basically, in Texas. They also determined that King's restaurant had been severely damaged in a suspicious explosion earlier that year, as previously mentioned. So basically, at this point, the FBI have got Graham's number. He is not getting the fuck out of this anymore. Locals also suspected Graham of deliberately causing his new pickup truck to be struck by a train that year in order to collect the insurance. So, like, this guy will literally take insurance out on anything and then kill it. It's amazing. No, he's the shittest. Like, how he wasn't caught for any of these? Like, surely these insurance companies might mention it to each other. Oh, there's this guy going about. He's
embezzlement already.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's amazing what you could get away with in the 50s.
Yeah.
Like when there wasn't internet. And there wasn't you couldn't just Google someone and then go like, this guy, this creepazoid, will stick away from him.
Yeah, I know people that like obviously I'm not going to mention names, but I know people that cheat on people, for example, and it's like, how do neither of them know? It's like, how do neither of them know, even though the one is like quite and the other one, but neither of them know. I'm like, I don't understand how you do it nowadays.
Yeah,
20 years ago, that would make sense. I'm not a fan of that anymore. I really don't.
Especially with like Bumble and shit like that, and it's like you see people on Bumble think it's like, oh yeah, I'm doing something with I've got a thing on the side. I just want someone to sort of sleep with and do this kind of stuff, and I'm married. It's like, well then no. Just come on, it's the stupidest thing in the world. Why would you advertise that you're in a relationship and want to do like extra shit?
If you got the agreement, I've been in not relationships, but whatever you'd call them in the past. When I used to be a slag in my younger days, I purposely stepped away from this. You'd have people that really like that. They like the idea of having one person to shag, and then you'd have someone else that you can at the same time.
Your side piece of it. Yeah, it's not healthy shit. I mean, it's healthy.
Younger.
Yeah, it's sort of healthy for some people. Some people can handle it, but like the vast majority of people can't.
Yeah, it just depends what you're into, what you want as well, more than anything in that situation.
Yeah. And like a lot of people, I don't know. There's a lot of people going around doing like, oh, poly, we're poly people, all this kind of stuff. Like, yeah, are you though? Or
sorry, that just means you're just not horny at the moment. That's what that means.
I think asexual maybe sort of. I can kind of get it.
Yeah.
I can kind of get it, but it's like, I don't know. I masturbate way too much to be able to fully understand it.
I have a theory on that like just from obviously myself, like you just kind of switch off when you've had kids and stuff as well. That once you decided to kind of, I don't know where I'm going with this, I'm going to cut it.
No, it's gonna cut it. It's okay. I'll pick up where I left off.
I probably won't after that, but yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Right, so the FBI have discovered that Graham is a piece of shit. So we go on to the conviction. After Graham's arrest, Denver radio station KDEN owner Gene Amol and Rocky Mountain News photographer Maury Engel arranged to sneak a camera into Old Denver County Jail on West Colfax Avenue for an interview with Graham during a new reunion with his wife Gloria. He said, "I loved my mother very much. Graham told a mole. She meant a lot to me. It's very hard for me to tell exactly how I feel. She left so much of herself behind. Yeah, spread over half the fucking county.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
A little bit left behind over there, a bit over.
Yeah, a little bit over there.
Over there.
So much of her just left behind.
And they snuck the camera in for this.
Yeah, they snuck the camera in to have a conversation with this dude, even though, like, blatantly he's just a piece of shit.
I get that for a newspaper, you know, but it's still just funny.
Yeah. So, when Amelie asked him why he had signed a confession, he said the FBI had threatened to point out inconsistencies in statements made by his wife, Gloria. Yeah. Okay. If there's inconsistencies in what your wife says in comparison to what you say, you probably did it. So,
and why would that, if you didn't do it, why would that make you say anything anyway?
Oh no, basically his wife was apparently, like, what he told the police didn't quite match up with what his wife said is basically what he's saying.
Yeah, but I'm saying why, if you didn't do it and then you heard that, your initial reaction would not be, I'm going to admit to it then. That's what
yes. Oh, yes. Yes, definitely. Better. Yeah, no, I see what you mean. He's literally just gone, oh well, then I just have to accept my fate. I can't argue my case at all. Oh well. Yeah, no, fair play.
Well, they did like 8 hours, didn't they? In these, you've seen it on some of the programs we talked about. I don't trust confessions all the time now, and that's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's pretty fucked up. Unless you can see the tape of how they got the confession, it's really not. It's not that great.
And then you need the full tape.
Yeah, because that can be edited. You want to make sure that there's no cuts anywhere in it, which is, tough.
Yeah, never.
Yeah, so he basically said that he wasn't going to let the FBI touch his wife in any way, shape, or form. However, none of the Denver TV stations would agree to air the film in the end. So they snuck this camera in. They've taken a fucking interview with this dumbass. They've got literally nothing for it. So
he never agreed, or they didn't agree.
Oh no! It was all they all agreed, but basically all the TV stations went, "Why the fuck would we have this dickhead as an interviewer? Like, why would we?" Because back in the day,
it went rogue.
News sort of had a backbone, and when you got an opportunity to get an interview with a horrendous mass murderer, you didn't necessarily make it like headline shit like Channel 4 does quite regularly. Oh, there was this serial killer one they did recently. It's like, oh, interview with a serial killer, and they were fucking advertising it for weeks on end. It's like, this is the most sickening, morbid shit I have ever fucking seen.
It's weird.
I do watch that shit. That's the fucked up bit. I will still watch that shit.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's morbid and creepy.
But I think there's just an endless fascination. It must be genuinely mainstream. There's a fascination with it with most people for it to be on ITV. It's everywhere, true crime stuff, especially over the lockdown. I've noticed.
Yeah,
it's all over. I had this feeling.
I can't.
When you're feeling a bit down and stuff, nothing makes you feel better about your situation than reminding yourself there's people being murdered.
Right now, people all over the globe are dying, Johnny. Really? Yeah, Johnny. Every time you snap your fingers.
It's amazing. And that is the only marvel you'll get in this podcast.
Yeah. Death happens. So, the FBI, United Airlines, and the district attorney wanted Graham tried, found guilty, and executed promptly as a deterrent to others who might plan copycat murders, according to Amelie. However, Graham also confirmed on a number of occasions that he had made and set the bomb, and when he described the bomb, he gave details that were later confirmed by investigators.
Yeah.
So, seems to me like he's definitely the guy who did it. Nothing has changed.
This This isn't what we were
trial the trial that followed resulted in Colorado becoming the first state to officially sanction the use of television cameras to broadcast criminal trials, incidentally. Because it had never been a thing allowed before. They'd never really sort of set the precedent. And this was the first time they'd actually allowed that to happen, because it was such a high profile case and stuff like that. They would like, we could have made bank. Believe it or not, there was no federal statute at the time on the books that made it a crime to blow up an airplane.
Okay.
So, therefore, on the day after Graham's confession, the Colorado District Attorney moved swiftly to prosecute Graham via the simplest possible route: premeditated murder of a single victim, his mother, Daisy King.
That's the only thing they went for.
That's the only thing they went for. And you want to know why?
Go on.
Because they're in goddamn America now, boy.
America.
Yeah. And he was sentenced to death.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay.
So, yeah. So basically, like, they went, well, we're going to kill him anyway. Let's just go for the thing that's going to kill him quickest. If
you're going to go for the death anyway, and it's still risky, because you still got to prove the premeditated part of this to guarantee death.
Well, this is why they did this, because
I suppose
the only thing that was actually on the charges was first-degree murder. That was the only charge.
And if they proved that, it also proves the rest if they wanted it to. If they didn't, for whatever reason, get the death penalty, then they could.
Yeah, exactly. They could always continue to prosecute.
And it stops the family going through the trial as well, which is cool.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, as the case progressed, Graham quickly recanted his confession, but at his 1956 trial, his defense was literally unable to counter the massive quantity of evidence presented by the prosecution. In February 1956, he attempted suicide in his cell and was thereafter put under 24-hour surveillance so that they could kill them themselves.
You ain't gonna die by your watch. You're gonna die by our watch, Sonny.
Boy, you be taking money out of my boy's mouth if you do that. I got some money on you being burned alive. I'm going to take away the water like they did in that movie to that guy.
We're going to take you down to our old owl god and dance around y'all naked. I'm getting ahead of myself to mine. Go carry on, so I can't stop doing the voice now.
That is basically the end of it. Graham was executed in the Colorado State Penitentiary gas chamber on January the 11th, 1957.
Oh, wow, so quick work as well. It's not like nowadays when you're on death row for like 15 years or whatever.
Yeah, no, they went, okay, you killed 44 people. You're going to die pretty quick.
Yeah. So there's so many serial killers you hear of now that like died of natural causes on death row. It's like, so death row, and just a lot of those until you die.
Yeah, and a lot of those serial killers have a lower body count than Graham.
Well, yeah, that makes
You know, there's serial killers out there with like 23 kills. He killed 44 people in one hit.
I suppose that would be more
for insurance money. Like that's the thing I still don't.
Yeah, that's such a weird thing to do.
It's such a bad idea. It's so bad.
I'm trying to look at it from their point of view. How does he think? It's like, okay, I did the car or whatever it was, and that didn't work. I did something else, and that didn't quite work. Oh no, the next option, I'll blow up a plane to get.
Yeah.
And no, why not just blow up like the car on the way to the plane? That's literally a lot more likely to die. You're
to die. Yeah.
Die on the way to the plane.
Yeah. Than you are on the plane itself. And like, what the fuck did he think they were going to think? A big explosion goes off in the fucking sky and no one's going to notice.
Yeah.
What the fuck was he thinking?
And even if you think, oh, yeah, you know, they might find a bomb, Maybe I'll get rid of the bomb evidence in my house. No,
maybe. Yeah. Nah, leave it all there. Leave it all there.
Why not? It's cool.
Like, it almost seems so dumb he had to be framed, but he wasn't.
No. I love when people say that. It's like, no. He probably just was that dumb.
He was just that dumb. This guy was thicker than pig shit. It's...
Wow. It's shocking when you really think about the fact that those people exist, and they must have, at one point, thought that was a generally good idea.
Yeah, they exist, and they're dangerous, Carl.
Yeah. Once they figure out how to put the
you could literally be flying. Yeah, you could literally be flying somewhere, and you could die because of a moron. Like,
yeah. I don't know what would be worse, dying like that because of a moron, or dying because a moron decided to jump out of a plane and thought, I can do this without a parachute, and just landed on you.
I just breathed the whiskey.
Oh, at least it's still going in you?
What?
I was quite surprised that it wasn't like a terrorist thing, but that's
what I thought, yeah.
It's all you jump to nowadays straight away. I do think, random tangent, but I do think the word terrorist is thrown around too much nowadays.
Yeah.
Especially on the news, and as soon as something happens, even just saying we don't think it's terror related, it's like, well, why would you think it's terror related to? Why even say that? What? It's like, it's usually a speaker, and it's like, no, it's just a serial killer. So why would you even say it's terror related?
Yeah. There's been a spate of dog shittings in the local parks. People have been treading in a bunch of dog turds. We don't think it's related to terrorist activity.
That's exactly what I meant. You got it straight away. Okay. I'm going to try a new thing out.
To get some enhanced video.
No.
There's a video for this one.
I'm trying
fucking brilliant, so it is.
Okay, then, shall I get onto my one now?
Yeah, go for it, bro. Let's have a little gander.
Yeah, okie dokie. So mine is I've done a couple of like murder stories and that lately, and I think I said last week that I wanted to do more of a conspiracy type one.
Yeah,
but conspiracy, I suppose, insinuates that there's some level of deniability of the story. With this, no, it's just a fact. This is
just a fact.
Not really the story, but we're just going to talk about Bohemian Grove. Do you know what Bohemian Grove is at all?
The name rings a bell.
Okay. It's I see what it says here. It's a restricted 2,700 acre campground at 20601 Bohemian Avenue,
this bit. Yeah,
California. And it belongs to a gentleman's club named known as the Bohemian Club. It was founded in 1872 from a regular meeting of journalists, artists, and musicians, but soon began to accept businessmen, entrepreneurs, high-ranking military commanders, and army generals in general. Weird way to say it. Billionaires.
Those generals.
The generals. And many local and global leaders, leading from presidents, future presidents, etc., etc. So this is the story of when you always hear people take the mick out of conspiracy theorists, and they go, "Yeah, I was listening for it."
Yeah.
So when you have like conspiracy theorists, and people always say, you know, like, "Oh, you're one of those people that believes in, you know, like there's a group of rich people meeting or plotting secret things or doing stuff in the forest."
There are.
Yes, there are.
Yeah, yes, there are. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah,
it doesn't just happen in America, but this in particular, I'll mention some of the other ones after. But yeah, this is a Bohemian.
Oh, is this what the video is then? Oh, bro.
Yep.
Oh, bro.
Before we get into the video, just a quick little thing about the situation that happened to get the video. This was in the year 2000. It's a video that was made by. As soon as you say this name, it makes everyone
it's going to make everyone go, "Oh God!" Yeah.
Or okay, fine. Alex Jones.
Yes, it was Alex Jones. Yes.
Not the BBC One woman reporter. Or
no. It's not the Welsh lady. No. it's the guy who wants you to turn on a fucking Ford's game
in a dimension of aliens. He's fucking Alex Jones, though. He's the epitome of. Well, in my opinion, someone that after this happens, for example, and all the other stuff he's got into, he's sent himself crazy. I think he has, on some level, been sent crazy and targeted little bits by governments and that, just to because he has outed some stuff, as we're about to learn in a minute.
I think he's also he's sort of been taken in by his own rhetoric a bit too much.
Yeah.
He sort of allowed what he thought the world was to become all it ever can be in his mind.
Become all encompassing, and then he talks about schizophrenics with Joe Rogan, but then acts like like schizophrenic in the sense of because a lot
he genuinely believes there's a conspiracy against him all the time, and it might well be, but like,
it might be in parts, but it doesn't mean it's everywhere.
The problem with Alex Jones basically comes from the Sandy Hook denial.
That was the beginning of the modern,
that was the beginning of the sort of the serious drop from conspiracy like guy to full blown like hardcore.
Yeah, well, he was always that, but at the same time, more in the mainstream media eyes, like, when his name created the reaction that basically we had just from saying it. Then I get it. And Sandy Hook, he's admitted to all that, but he also admits, he's apologized for all that, admits he was wrong about that. But he also admits that he is overly paranoid. He does seem to know this about himself, what we were just saying about him, that he knows he is this. But knowing that,
it's just a shame Paul Joseph Watson doesn't. But there we go.
Don't know who that is. But
you're best off not knowing. He's just I fucking hate that dude. He's such a fucking pompous cunt. So he's on the same network. He's on what's his face's network? Alex Jones's network. InfoWars,
Oh, okay.
But he's just this really annoying northern British dude who thinks that he's the smartest guy in the world, but he's not. He's a cunt.
The guy that I tried to watch InfoWars once after watching Joe Rogan, and I went onto it, and it wasn't Alex Jones; it was just random British guy. So
and he's the fucking worst. He's just this annoying little wanker who thinks that he's the smartest man in the room, when in fact, normally he's a who hasn't done his fucking research.
That's his
fuck that dude.
And Alex Jones, though, at least
I hate him.
At least he's entertaining with it. He's got personality to him.
Yeah. But this was some serious shit.
This is what got him known and on the radar of all those elite people that you may think is complete bullshit what he's talking about, but he is on their radar because of this. In 2000, him, and I didn't realize this, he went in there with another person called John Ronson. Do you know who John Ronson is?
Yeah, John Ronson is the man who wrote the
Men Who Stare at Goats.
Yeah, the Men Who Stare at Goats, but there was another one as well, which was about people taking acid.
Psychopath Test or
Psychopath
Adventures
Test
of Extremists. Oh wait, was this?
I think it could have been the Psychopath Test actually. Yeah, because it was the bit where they're sort of they got this guy strapped to a serial killer.
Okay.
Yeah, that was in the Psychopath Test. Yeah, and they had this normal guy because it was all like convicts, just this normal guy who'd gone in for like robbing a bank or not robbing a bank, robbing a store or something.
Yeah.
Next to a serial killer, and they chained them up and gave them both acid. And he was like, no, actually, it was quite nice. We got to know each other fairly well. We're still in touch.
I mean, it could have gone either way, but luckily it went well.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be up for trying stuff like that, but I do believe that you can get to those kind of states though through meditation and all that. So that's more the route
it's possible. I'd like to enjoy. I'd have a go at a psychedelic experience. I'm not gonna lie. I've never been able to get my hands on mushrooms or LSD, so that's just my.
Let me know when you want. I can hit you up.
Hell yeah!
I can get that for you. Don't worry about that.
Nice.
Oh, that's a joke, though. And we record. Oh, we'll cut this bit out. Yeah, mm-hmm. yeah. I can sort that. I'm just not a fan.
Guys. At no point am I going to message Carl and ask for fungal things to go anywhere.
Oh,
never gonna happen.
Well, there's nothing wrong with mushrooms. Mushrooms are part of your,
Mushrooms are fine. I could be asking for lion's mane mushroom, which is very, very good for your head.
Yeah, you could be asking for the ones that kill you, just because I don't know,
dude.
Don't think that's any better, but
do you have access to shiitake mushrooms?
I do not have any shiitake mushrooms. No,
that is a shame because they are the bomb.
Yeah. I instantly snap to in Spy Kids when they're like, "You're so full of shit, tucky mushrooms."
Yeah.
Oh shit! You said that. Felt like a bad man as a boy.
Oh god, I never watched that.
Oh, you should.
But I do remember that bit.
There's a quote in it.
I've seen it.
There's a quote in that one, in the second one, that it's gone around and people like really surprised when they find out it came from Spy Kids 2. It's something. There's a quote that goes around where people are really surprised, like, to find it comes to Spy Kids 2. It's something like, what is it now? Do you think God stays in heaven because he's afraid of his creations too? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so yes.
Sorry, was that?
Yeah. So it was Alex Jones, and I didn't realize this at the time, but John Ronson, full on, like you said, he does all those things. He's also a journalist and author, works with Channel 4, BBC documentary films. It was part of something he was doing where he was doing things with conspiracy theorists, and he didn't believe any of this stuff existed. And Alex Jones was like, no, it does. And he wanted to infiltrate, and John Ronson wanted to go with him. And then Alex Jones got paranoid about John Ronson, apparently. So he sent John Ronson through the front door, and he snuck through some shrubbery and that. But Ronson was like, it wasn't hard, because it's not like they were expecting randomers to walk up. There shouldn't be that.
No, they just thought, just normal people. Yeah.
And apparently he looked the part and all that. He knew the basic stuff he had to do when he got, But they went up to this place anyway. They got in, and they'd heard about it was Bohemian Avenue. Obviously, you couldn't say for sure the people that were there, but let's just have a quick look anyway. Enough talking about
it. Let's watch the video. Yeah, let's watch some what
we'll go play by play through some of the more occultic statements, like "We shall read the sign in your burned effigy."
I believe that's
the
Alex
bound
Jones
body.
talking.
That's exactly what the Druids actually did. They would roast cats, goats, oxen,
There's
horses,
the owl god.
And watch the pain of how they died, and from this extract some type of mystical
Molluc.
energy force or power, and also be able to tell the future.
From the crowd, like
This little outside. We beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
All in robes, everyone in the audience wearing robes. And apparently John Ronson was saying, I watched the thing where he was saying how into it they were. They were so into it, the people in the crowd.
It becomes clear. It is a mixture of the Babylonian Canaanite cult of Molluc fused with ancient Druidic rites, where you have the female side of Satan, which they first call out to in the she, and then towards the horn god with the he, mixed with, painted up like a skull.
Do you ever hear the conspiracy theory about Alex
across
Jones?
The small leg towards the high priest with the red of his cloak visible with his hand outstretched?
It's only while he's
the
narrating this that I think it sounds
as they
similar.
Throw off their
as they throw off there. And it's the female side of Satan. Okay? You getting it yet?
But when he's talking like this, when they get, it's like what you were saying, kind of, when he gets too much into like this side of it, it's like you need to keep reiterating that this is just what they believe, maybe, or what we think they might believe. He talks about it as if it's fact.
That
always bothers me.
They have also had like other people find more information out over the years, haven't they, as well? Yeah, they're basically going, yeah, it's Molluc. Yeah, they do these druidic things.
This is why they released at the time this video. Like, long after.
Their cares, their conscience for what they have to do in the world. Also, you have the arrangement of the circle of higher-level priests around him, the high priest in lighter colors, and then the outer rings of red, and then those in black. This is consistent.
One thing, apparently, before this happened, before they came out with the robes and they get on to burning the thing that they're about to do in a minute, someone came out in, John Ronson was saying this, so I listened to him on Joe Rogan, talking about how before this, what they didn't film was someone coming out in leaf-covered lederhosen and singing a song about the trees flowing in the wind. Yep.
Okay.
Just gets weirder and weirder. This was
Western countries, but also worldwide. Now, when you see that black edge coming to the field, that's because we zoomed in on the video, and many times the picture was almost
you can see the boat coming across
so that's the
here,
edge of the field or the view of the camera.
That's back in the day was a human sacrifice, apparently, but now is not apparently.
Yeah, now they just burn an effigy.
But now they still play screams across the Diego.
Ashes with little horns.
Yeah, full of this. Yeah. No, this. I should have edited the video first. Okay, what's going on?
Man, it's just fucking weird.
It's just weird to see, isn't it? Bearing in mind that this is legitimately, and we know. We'll go into more in a minute, but we know high, powerful people that go there and involved in this.
Yeah.
The people were into
some really weird ones you wouldn't expect as well. Like
and just ties to England with it as well.
I mean, a lot of the druidic traditions all start in the UK anyway. I mean, that's technically what our first religion was.
And America is basically a product of Britain anyway, isn't it? So
yeah.
It's like just very pageantry at this point still, the video. This is. And just them walking over, there you go, getting in front of the owl.
And in the flames that eat thine effigy, we shall read the sign, Midsummer sets us free. You shall burn me once again! Not with these flames, which hither ye have brought from regions where I reign. Ye fools and priests, I spit upon your fire.
Got production values.
Look at what it's like now. Like 21 years later.
Probably got holograms and shit. They get £2 to turn up.
What I've seen, I think they might have moved finally. They were there till very recently still, but I think it's just got too much attention now. I don't know. It might just be the story.
Yeah, this kind of shit, it's not like this is the only place they'll have access to. They could do this at any fucking giant weirdo's estate.
I've got a few of my own little theories which will make a point about how that kind of goes with that too. But that's the owl thing going up, isn't it?
See, I think this kind of shit is all just part and parcel of what politics is now, and it's gross and creepy. Don't get me wrong. Because like in politics now, the only way I think people really get ahead and really get power is if they are fucked up. Is if they do something that's fucking wrong or weird or fucking dangerous in their own spare time. You know?
That's the only way they can get what?
The only way they can get power. Because the only reason the only reason anyone above them will let them have power is if they know they've got something with, on them that they can use to just crush them with whenever they want. So they do exactly what they want.
Did you hear that then?
I missed it.
for a second. You'll hear the screams when they light the apparent effigy in a sec.
Midsummer sets us free.
Yeah.
It's just weird. The fact that I could buy that it's not a real person in there, but the fact that they include that still is just weird to me.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of what we was talking about recently. I saw it in one. I can't remember if it was the last episode or the one before, where we mentioned about David Cameron fucking a pig for hazing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's all the same shit. Yeah.
And it's exactly like you were just saying then about how something to hold over them, to have the power.
Yeah. Yep.
Apparently, what this was is it was no guys allowed. Sorry, no women allowed. So what they would do, it's always been that way officially, but I think they've had.
Was the gay sex bit?
They'd have gay sex, but what they would do, apparently, since then, like I think it was either New York Times or the New York Post, one of them, got interviews and exclusives and whatever you call it with male gigolo and some of his people that he was taking. He was talking about taking all the male prostitutes in there and that. Do whatever, and then
why is that the thing though? Like, why do dudes so quickly turn to that? Like, don't get me wrong. Love the fact that gay people can choose what they want to do, but I don't really think. Yeah, I don't think personally, if I was, away from women for like a day, I'd have to stick my dick in a dude. I'm just saying, I don't think it's the leap I'm going to make straight away. Give me a week. Maybe we'll see how it's going.
I've always said there's never a time. I was just generally females I was talking about at the time, because I used to use the one teacher at school as an example. But every guy will bang any woman. There's no chance of like no, they're not pretty or whatever, not my type. So no, it doesn't matter. We're like they're too old or something. No, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It's just about how long it's been.
Yep,
that's all it is. We've evolved like that. We're horny bastards. We can't help it.
Yeah, and when it's staring us down when you're staring down the barrel of a vagina, you can't really say no, can you?
It's easier to ignore it when it's not there, but as soon as it's around you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the same thing with some of these guys though with the gay gigolos. Who knows? You're flopping around.
As soon as there's just an opportunity to have some cock, these people just couldn't resist.
Just a little bit of flop in the face, little bit of flower.
I think that's how a gigolo sells it.
Yeah,
just. I saw it more as just like everyone be sat around as a cocktail, and then out of the blue, someone's cock would just penis. No, I'm fine, thank you.
Like you walk into a shop, you got shelves normally. You browse through the different things. It's like that. There's a shelf, but there's a glory hole at the back of each shelf. So they stick the willy through, and it's like you're just going through the shelves, just checking which one you want. Like, can I check the face that one? And they open a little window, and you can see the face for a second. You're like, okay, I'll take that one, please.
So like 90% of Czechoslovakian porn, like.
As long as they don't blow it out like the Japanese stuff, I'm happy.
There's so much Czechoslovakian porn that's just glory holes, man. Glory holes and public sex is like Czechoslovakia's main exports. like that and vodka. It's It
wasn't even the one I was clicking on. One thing that really surprised me
about watching us, Carl.
It's just surprising that when you listen to it and you wouldn't expect, like Alex Jones, there's a video of him walking up to a politician. There's a lot of videos of politicians confirming Bohemian Grove begrudgingly, not meaning to, but they confirmed it. They confirmed they've been there. They've like not saying no, it doesn't exist. It's like, I don't like the fact that you broke into there or something like that.
Yeah, you shouldn't have been there. That was private. You shouldn't have been there.
You know what? I have a bit of a fear because you know what we was talking about with that whole like the gay prostitute stuff and all that. Like nowadays, first of all, if a rich senator or whatever came out with pictures of him giving head to a guy, I mean, his family might be a bit weirded out, but basically, it's not a career killer anymore. It's not the end. It's not.
It's not necessarily. It depends what state you're in.
Yeah, but in general, you look at this, it's supposed to be a global thing because apparently it's people from all over the world as well. It's not just Americans, mainly Americans from the looks of it, though. It's more about domestic stuff for them. Sorry. But I wonder, for example, because there's been stories of other things too, and some of the people that have been there would make sense. Jeffrey Epstein.
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. At some point,
that makes sense.
It's going to turn to that. They've already had women in there too anyway. And I swear I read there's also like a gentleman's club they go to, some headquarters and stuff. It just makes sense to me that could have been a part of it anyway, because they're still trying to figure out who it is. Because Epstein basically and Maxwell were basically, what's the word? A pimp, like a pimp of underage girls for rich and famous people, or rich,
and also used as a form of leverage again and stuff like that. That's the thing. It's like being gay anymore isn't the big deal it used to be, like you say, and I that's why I think you see more and more stuff about pedophile fucking politicians and politicians who've done really nasty deals or assault charges disappearing and stuff like that. And it's like the reason why is because these people, the ones that are left, the ones that they can still get control over, it's not for just something that you're hiding because society isn't ready for it yet. The only things really left to hide are shit that is, it's not fucking cool, man.
Other than aliens, but yeah, in general,
yeah.
I've been trying. It's one of these ones I've been trying to talk about with different people, and I always get to the same point because it's hard because you talk about it and you talk about it as if it should be like there should be a question to it. It shouldn't be obvious that we know that these rich people, these generals, like there's pictures of like some of the people. There's like pictures of Ronald Reagan there with Richard Nixon, like in the same photo. I completely blank.
What's his face? The guy, is it Donald Glover or Danny Glover? Danny Glover, I think it is. The one who was from Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was there at one point, apparently. Like, Bill Gates has been rumoured to go there. And, I mean...
I've never heard of Elon going there, weirdly, though.
No, I haven't either. But it doesn't seem like his kind of scene.
Apparently, when Alex Jones was sneaking in, he was saying he could see owls everywhere, and he was like, "No, the cameras, don't talk until we get over here," and all that. And it's John Ronson who was shocked by everything he was seeing. He said it's legit; it was all happening. The people in the audience were way too into it.
Yeah.
But he said, in my opinion, though, I only think there was a lot of owls there because it was an owl sanctuary.
Yeah, probably.
That might be why.
Mm-hmm.
He had the craft security on the door and he just walked in. I highly doubt they had cameras in the owls. That's just that. Alex Jones was always a bit paranoid, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It sort of pushed all that shit a bit more underground. Maybe there's actually more to worry about from these people now than there was back then, just because it's more hidden. If you know what I mean.
I reckon, like a lot of the the paedophile stuff you hear about, I reckon there is a lot more truth to a lot of that, but whether it's like mainly due to the forcing the situation so they have something on the person, maybe it's like a 17-year-old where they don't know, however it gets to it isn't the point anyway, though. But well, I suppose depending on what here, but I mean, I don't think there's like a set group of paedophiles in elite. Well, no, sorry, I don't think all the major elite that go to Bohemian.
No, I don't think all of them are, but I think the vast majority of them have got something that can be used against them.
Yeah,
and I think that the ones that are paedophiles are probably a lot easier to control because, And like, I don't know. I know everyone's all sort of, there's loads of people out there who like Boris Johnson, but honestly, look me dead in the eyes, people, and tell me there isn't a touch of Jimmy Savile about him. It's the hair.
It's got to be the hair. I don't mind Boris too much.
I fucking hate Boris. He can fucking. I don't hate him. He's nowhere near as smart as people think he is.
Oh no.
And he acts like he's this fucking Churchill figure. He's not a Churchill figure. He's a fucking oaf.
He's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. It's hilarious. He comes on and does like a press conference or a statement talking about this new update or whatever. No one understands a word of it, and you have to wait half an hour for the news to come on so they can actually break it down and let you know what he actually was trying to say.
Yeah, we're doing everything maximum we can, full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead.
Yeah, and therefore we will all reap the rewards of this reaping.
Maybe laugh when you should have done it. Very, very bang on for him. Yeah, I didn't. I enjoyed Boris for the same reason I enjoyed Bush, the same reason I enjoyed Trump, because to me it's like watching wrestling. I know it's shit. I know it is. I know it doesn't make any sense, but I'm just accepting it for what it is. That's the same thing I do with the leaders. It's like, except Theresa May, I didn't really like her. She was a bit boring, stuck up and that. Then she danced and I liked her a bit more. That's my level.
Fuck it. Oh, that dance was horrific when she was going to try and reignite the colonies.
Yeah. Was it Africa? Was it?
Yeah, go to Africa, go to India, go to all these places, and isn't it fun? Don't you remember the Empire?
Oh, God. Oh, the world is a ridiculous place, man.
Yeah.
There's I mean, in regards to this as well, though, while looking for stuff yesterday, once again, there's not much on YouTube to find for Bohemian Grove, Bohemian Club, any of that. There is that weird 1981 YouTube thing I found it on YouTube as well, but like I said, it's just not working now. That damn thing isn't. I suppose I could screen share it, but it's just even then it was being confirmed, and that's just strange to me anyway. But I also watched something about the Bilderberg thing, which is apparently the England equivalent.
Okay.
So, or I don't know if it's Europe in general, but the thing I was watching was it was CNN in America covering a secret Bilderberg meeting, like it was the worst thing in the world. Like it was shocking that this was happening, like really tearing into Britain and the Queen and what we're allowing and all this. And it was just shocking to me because I was trying to find details about Bohemian Grove while, as you know, that's what made me find this video.
Yeah.
And
I've never even heard of it. Oh, I think I have, but don't fall over! Don't fall over, camera.
What, you haven't heard of Bilderberg?
I'm trying to hold it in place with my legs.
Did you say you haven't heard of Bilderberg?
I think again, it's one of those ones where I think I remember the name, but I can't be entirely sure.
I think I'm not completely sure where it is based. I think from what I got, I think it might be more Europe than anything, because I thought it was originally like a German thing. I think there might have been some ties in the roots there, but
it sounds like, German.
Yeah, but I mean, look at our royal family though. So
yeah, exactly. It's offenses.
It's
offenses.
It's good. Yeah, they made people too. Yeah,
crowds. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. It's very good. It's so good, in fact.
I forgot what I was going to fucking say. Yeah, they got this video. This woman, apparently reporter, breaking into Bilderberg with a secret camera, and I was watching it like, okay, this might be interesting. And we're going to see the people. It just explained that she was walking through. She had to go through a car park entrance and then through a shopping centre into this normal hotel lobby where she would greet them and all that, and then going into some warehouse. And basically, it proved not a damn thing. She could have been walking into any warehouse, talked to a few security people. Didn't even see a big group of meeting of, anything. There was no owl. There was no robes. There was no chanting. Fucking shit.
How is it worth the fucking effort?
It wasn't.
It's just a group of people all sitting about.
You didn't even see that? I was like, there's no evidence here. It was just her walking through a corridor and getting stopped, and then wanting to put a sticker over her camera. Not the camera's the secret camera, but the her phone camera.
Yeah. Oh, right. Well, then.
That's the level of security in Bilderberg, apparently. We need to put a sticker on your camera. Yeah, so you cannot record.
You can't get stickers off. They're impossible to remove. It's a well-known scientific fact that if you ever want to stop anything from being seen, just stickers. And in fact, you can cover up the entire of the sun with stickers.
I've heard this too.
Yeah. In fact, that's what sunspots are. They're where stickers have been placed on the sun, and it's just cooled it down to enough to where it's just sort of disappeared and then boom, explodes again.
So, like Elon Musk after he finished talking about wanting it more pointy, he was like, and then we need to make the stickers more sticky. Need to be more sticky.
They need to be more sticky.
Show your secret catalog after you've been younger and you've made dun.
I've had too much whiskey. This is this is an interesting development.
Well, we're almost done now anyway, man, to be fair.
We're almost done, but that's not the point. That's not the point, Carl.
What's the point?
The point is I have had too much whiskey.
I don't think that's ever a possibility. You're awake.
Yeah. For now. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, I'm thinking as well. Actually, I suppose let's finish off any points about. I don't think there's anything really left to cover on this particularly. I mean, the only other thing I was going to say was there was a lot of it doesn't make sense. What I've seen, I've been trying to figure out bits about it, and there's not as much info about it as you'd think, considering it's so confirmed.
The creepy thing is like the insistence on keeping the scream. Like either that is a dude, or they've got someone, screaming intentionally to make it sound like a dude. And like either way,
it's not very good.
It's not a good look, is it? It's not something you want to sort of go, yeah, these are the people I want to hang around with. These people are sane. And again, these people are the people in charge of the fucking world. And this is the shit they do for fun.
People say, well, just because they're meeting up together and doing this doesn't mean that they're making decisions together. So think of any situation you've been in, like work, like comedy, for example. A lot of the time when you're doing podcast or you're out with people is when you come up with a lot of stuff. You come up with a lot of plans together. Most of the time people don't follow through with them, but then if you do.
But that's, It's like that's definitely the major thing with any conspiracy. Like everyone always goes, as you say, like, oh, there's no such thing as the Illuminati. There's no such thing. It's like, okay, so maybe they're not called the Illuminati, but again, and I've made this point 1,000 times. Like, there's only like a handful of billionaires in the world. There's like 300 billionaires max, something like that. That is enough for them all to know each other. And if you all know each other and you've all got that kind of money, you're all kind of friends because no one else has got that experience of being a billionaire like you do. Only your billionaire friends do. So you chat to your billionaire friends as you would to any other friends. And then you go like, oh, I've got this idea. I really want to make some money off of this, but this country won't let me do it. And the mate goes, oh, yeah, me too. Yeah. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you what, should we put a financial package together for a political party that we like, and then we'll just make them add that to their manifesto? Genius idea. Let's do that. Because why the fuck wouldn't they? It's just business to these people.
And I guarantee you as well, I was like, this won't be the only one. Like, just from my memory, I know there's also, or this was an offshoot of the Skull and Bones Society.
Yeah, the Skull and Bones Society. Yeah.
There's also Bilderberg. There's also supposed to. I mean, just
I've got friends who are in the Masons. Like,
Freemasons. That's an actual thing.
Yeah.
There's another.
I don't get me wrong. Like, I don't have a problem with the Masons at all. Like, I can sort of appreciate why people would want to be in that kind of society and group of like, we're all looking out for each other, and again we've got all these weird things to do. But to me, it's like it's someone going, I want to be unique, so I'm going to join a group of people.
Yeah, it's just,
and that just doesn't compute with me. For me, I just want to be, again, going back to the original thing we were talking about with comedy, just be authentic and be me. And like, I don't think I can do that while I'm pretending to, you know, be into some kind of owl god like Molluc, you know.
No, I hear you completely.
Yeah, it's just
loading something up at the same time. Because I remember I was thinking, and I was like, I swear I was planning to finish with something on this, and I remember what it was. Gonna do take a little idea from what you did before, because it was such a good idea. I thought, let's check out the reviews for people that have gone down to Bohemian Grove.
Oh, this is brilliant. Yeah, anytime we're doing a location, we're doing the reviews now.
Okay, let's have a look-see then. I haven't pre-read these or anything, so. Castle Smith, oh, that looks like quite a long one, actually. I'll just read the beginning a bit. Castle Smith says, well, what can I say, really? It wasn't boring. They had an interesting dress code, but I'll admit, the robes are really comfortable, and I like to think that I look good in red. Full transparency, there was another, probably, that was 2 lines. There's another 11 lines of that comment, but I'm not. She does not get that much time.
Yeah, that man's got an essay to write on Bohemian Grove, and he's not going to let the fact that it's a review stop him.
Fuck your Twitterness. Okay, who's this one? From apparently everyone's a local guide, just to clarify.
Of course.
Matthew Pewterbar. The people there were very nice to me when they bent me over for initiation, and all that young talent, wowza. Stephanie was out of this world. Smallest 18-year-old I've ever seen. I guess same opinion of what we were saying.
Oh, fuck it. It's obvious. It's so obvious. Like, all of this shit's connected and people know it. That's the laughable thing. We're all going like, yeah, we all know we're being controlled by a bunch of really nasty motherfuckers. But
they might try to control us, but I doubt most of it works, because we've said this many a times. I don't believe in a lot of conspiracies, just because nothing about human history has shown me that the government can do what they ever tried to do, or that they're
the only thing they've successfully managed to do is the vaccine thing, and that's only because they desperately need it to happen so that they can earn their money again.
Most inventions come out of
necessity.
Yeah, necessity built. Yeah, you know what I mean. That thing.
Yeah, necessity is the mother of all invention.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds right. My mum got a appointment for a vaccine today, which is cool.
Yay! My mum had her vaccine. My mum and my stepdad had their vaccine on Saturday, and my dad had the vaccine on Thursday, I think it was. So yeah, we're getting there, man. We're getting there. The sooner I can get mine, the better. But yeah.
But at least you know that the people around you, though, you know, that's for me. As soon as she gets it, it'll be a lot better. But I don't know if my kid's mom got it yet, but she's got all that vulnerable stuff. So I imagine she'll be Last time I spoke to her, she said she'll be getting it soon. She's been a bit annoying lately and not talking because ladies.
Yeah, such the way of things.
But now it's just weird at the moment. She's got a lot of complications health wise, so she has to be a lot more careful.
Yeah,
but I think she's getting her soon as well. So they're going down like all the groups very well now, quicker than they originally expected.
I just want mine, man. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. I'm so fucking sick of this shit.
When you get yours though, anyway.
Yeah.
It's not it, you know. It's like once lockdown starts to ease, is the time. It's like they're talking about March 8th now for schools to start possibly going back, but there's no semblance of any kind of restrictions being lifted.
This is again if these vaccines are fully effective against the South African version of the virus.
And Boris has stressed lately that we're not going to come out. This lockdown is going to be the last lockdown, but because of that, we're not coming out until we're ready to come out.
They say that, and then we'll probably end up in one more lockdown because they keep forgetting the fact that, again, and it annoys me that I have to say this to so many fucking people. It's literally, it's a 3-wave thing. And it's always been 3 waves in a pandemic. It's one initial wave that's not very big, a second wave that is a lot bigger, and then a third wave that is not as big as the previous 2. So you will maybe get another little lockdown, maybe near the end, but it's not as likely.
It's hard though when you look at it like that, because it depends on what points you put for each one, because you could argue like the initial wave was the little thing that happened in Wuhan, when it first came.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous. The thing is, people look at the curve like the way it is, and they go, oh well, we had a little bit up and then it went down again for a little bit, so that's the first wave. No.
It's
the
huge.
first wave is what happens in that section. Now it went up and then we all locked down and it went down again, but it went up again and then back down again. That's your wave, right? And then the next one comes along, and this one has been up and a bit down again, and then up, and then down again. Yeah. But the fucking news keeps on going on about, oh, the third wave. This isn't the third fucking wave. This is the second fucking wave. You don't know what you're fucking talking about. And it annoys me because these people should be able to fucking research this shit. Like BBC News, the main fucking thing that most people watch for their news, and they're banging on about it. And it's just, God damn it, use your terminology correctly. Why don't you get this?
It's just it's exactly what you say. Actually, the terminology. I haven't heard that particular one you mentioned, but there's been a lot of things that I hear about when they're reporting it. More ITV is what I watch, but I try not to watch the news that much anyway. I check out my own news lately. I find my own things.
Yeah, I've just stopped. I've focused more on the writing, which works better.
I'm focusing on being. I think that's what my problem was, because I was just ignoring the world for a bit last week. Like, other than the quiz, I was just, like I said, though, you just need to do it sometimes at the moment. And I think everyone should do that sometimes. If you want to just ignore the world,
it's healthy.
It's healthy, yeah. Just do it, whatever that means for you. Go off Facebook for a few weeks. I don't know, just chill out on your own, watching telly for a few days. Don't have to. Well, you should be doing that at the moment anyway. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I've been with a lot of people for days and days on end or something, then I'll always have to take a day to myself, just on my own, in quietness. People should do that.
I can't stand the vast majority of people. So
completely agree.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I can talk to anyone, and I don't hate people. I assume that everyone's good. It's just the vast majority of them they're kind of just
dicks.
Yeah, they can be dicks.
And probably like me then in that case. So you only like to think a lot of them are good because you want to give them the benefit of the doubt. You don't want to assume everyone's bad.
I will assume someone is a good person until I'm proven otherwise.
Yeah.
And once I'm proven otherwise, then I'm not going to change my opinion back again. You've pretty much proven it at that stage.
Yeah. I think we're both very similar in that sense. We're very nice. Yeah, and then it's just like, screw you.
Yeah, if you screw me over,
it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's like talking about that guy who was bitching at me for, because I said he didn't get to blacklist another comedian.
Yeah. Or like me, or I was thinking of the Christmas bitch, who I won't name.
Yeah, but it's just once you've got to the point where it's like I've really done nothing here to directly offend you, but you have taken utter offense at just an idea that isn't the idea that you would have. It's like, fuck off.
You know what it is? It's always a case. It's usually one of a few things I find. They're annoyed about something else. Excuse me. They're annoyed about something else, and they just want to take it out on someone, and you just seem like the person to do it on for whatever reason, whoever it is, or they're annoyed at the fact that seeing someone actively trying to do something, and they wish that they could be doing stuff, even though they can, they're just not. But a lot of the time, people, rather than look at themselves and think about what they're doing and focus on themselves, they want to focus on other people because it's easier.
Yeah.
Even way, it's like, a lot of people assume that I get really bothered by a lot of the hate I get online, for some stuff. Even though there's a lot more love, Well, no, that's not
Yeah.
true. There's some lot.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoy it, and I don't even see most of it because I stay off Facebook so much.
And also, like, again, the problem is that people take that shit way too seriously. It's like, is it serious that someone said some shit to you on a fucking Facebook page? Oh, poor you. Oh, poor you. I don't give a fuck. Say whatever the fuck you want on my fucking Facebook page. Like, again, this guy.
Because you're a comic, you expect a response. Like, if you're going to try and call, they're going to reply to you.
Yeah, and you know, people keep on fucking bitching and complaining. Like Leanne, we know Leanne. She got fucking banned off of Facebook because someone had a problem with something she talked about. It was literally she just talked about
Leanne there.
Oh yeah, very nice. But she literally just talked about cock. Now Leanne talks about cock all the fucking time.
Yeah, that's
so if you, yeah. So if you have a problem with that, that's your problem. It's not Leanne's problem. It's your problem.
Well, so did someone have a moan?
Fuck those fucking haters, man. Fuck people who
did someone do that with Leanne and just have a moan at her about that?
Oh, there's loads. Well, no, but that was specifically just, you know, her getting banned off of Facebook just because, you know, her style of comedy wasn't exactly what.
Yeah.
And I just fuck that, man.
Facebook and YouTube are getting too much though. It's like I got banned from like podcast group for saying God doesn't believe in podcasts. Okay.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh my god. Have you seen that video? Have you seen the wokest video ever?
Go on. I like having a video to finish this off with.
Just search woke meeting goes horribly wrong, or woke meeting goes wrong, or ultra woke meeting.
You're not on about
It was on a Joe Rogan podcast. It was on other things. It is incredible.
Meeting gone wrong.
Yeah, woke meeting, just ultra woke meeting, something like that. Now, what annoys me about this is that everyone has conflated communism with socialism, which is not the same fucking thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
NHS is a socialist system. Everyone pays in the same way and gets the same results out of it. The police is a socialist system. Communism, which is what this is very different, and it doesn't fucking work. And this is why.
So what? Give me the backstory then. What you said then.
So at the moment in the world, a lot of people have managed to conflate socialism with communism. Now, socialism is not communism. Socialism basically says that every single person, regardless of what they do, sort of contribute to society in some way, and therefore their life is worth maintaining, and they are worth not letting slip through the cracks. That means you have a healthcare system, so the NHS. You have a law-based system, so they can't lose out on that. Police, fire, all the things that are basically important to running a country. So the infrastructure, all that kind of stuff should be controlled by the government for all to use at free point of use, right? That's a socialist concept.
Okay, yeah. So
whilst,
like you said, NHS.
Sort of. But this is the thing, because we're capitalist socialists in a way, which means that it's all based around the capitalist system. But at the same time, we all understand that we have to pay taxes in to make sure the NHS is still around, all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
The thing about socialism is it doesn't work necessarily as a political thing in and of itself, but as an attachment to other political ideologies, as a way of softening those and allowing those to actually take care of their people, very useful. Whilst communism, to be very different and very clear about this, communism does not work. Like Venezuela said it was socialist, not socialist, communist, because it's basically everyone gets paid the same. You all get the same privileges. You don't get any personal freedom. You don't get any of this. You don't get to rise above other people via hard work or via having a good idea. You all just get paid the same, and the state controls it. That is communism.
Universal basic income, basically, then.
Oh, not even that. Universal basic income can easily be worked into a capitalist system, but the communist system specifically just goes, what do you do? I work in shop. Okay, you work in shop, you get paid $5.44 an hour. Excellent. Thank you, comrade. You, what do you do? I work as nuclear physicist. Excellent. You get paid $5.54 an hour, comrade. Off you go. What? Fuck?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That just makes no sense then, yeah.
Yeah, just bullshit. Yeah. While socialism goes, oh, you're working in a shop, so you get paid less. You're working as a nuclear physicist, so you get paid more. You do get an advantage, but at the same time, this person over here, we're not going to let them disappear into nothingness because we're going to use a little bit of extra tax on you to help them out. And then, once you've got millionaires and billionaires, okay, we're going to tax them significantly more to help those people out, because those millionaires and billionaires, they wouldn't have been able to accrue their giant wealth without the society they live in working on the infrastructure and giving it the ability to allow to allow them to prosper. So they sort of owe it back to the country to pay it back in tax. See what I mean?
Yeah, so that's the capitalist more point of view.
That's the socialist capitalist kind of thing.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you conflate socialism with communism with socialism, and then you completely forget that in communism they kind of had to have leaders too. Yeah,
take it.
This doesn't go well.
Point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on. It's making it very difficult for me to focus.
That's instead of clapping to stop people getting upset.
And ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum?
I hate sensory overload as well, but that just I know how to deal with that. I don't bitch about it on stage.
Point of personal privilege.
Yes.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Did she?
Okay.
Quick point of privilege once again.
I want to go back and hear that.
Once again. Hi, James Jackson.
I didn't even hear if she did.
Please.
Speaker against name, chapter, pronouns.
Point of personal.
Can we just? I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but
no, it's he who said it. He said, "I am he, him."
It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronouns?
Point of personal privilege.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay.
He wasn't. He was talking about.
Point of privilege once again. Hi, James Jackson.
Did anyone say?
He, him.
Did he?
I have already asked people to be mindful of the chatter of their comrades who are sensitive to sensory overload, and that goes double for the heckling and the hissing. It is also triggering to my anxiety.
Oh God!
Like the be comradely doesn't.
Everything is about me. Everyone has to stop and listen to me because I am in a state where my personal privilege is getting damaged. It's me.
But your need to express yourself should not trump or over.
Oh, we said Trump.
I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, we can do something like reducing that. That's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these. We have a lot of disabled comrades, and a lot of those are invisible disabilities. You don't know who it is that is having a more difficult time navigating
these
this space.
Fucking fools. They think socialism is communism, and it
in mind. So it's
fucking
up to
annoys the
modify
shit
that
out
space
of
to
me.
make sure that everybody is able to move in the ways.
I don't understand what points they're even making.
With the noise issue, like avoid hissing, avoid waving banners, right? Because those there's all sorts of things you don't know what to do. Show up these, right? I'm sure there's lots of ways.
It's literally they haven't been able to talk about a single actually important point because they are so obsessed with the minutia of the bullshit of how to talk to each other. They can't get to the crucial points of the matter. This is why free speech is so important. This is why authentic comedians are so important. Because this shit, like, we need people to stand up and go, this is bollocks, you're not getting anything done, you're fucking fools.
What is this supposed to be? What actually is this? A democratic socialist convention? So what is this?
That's what they say. They say it's democratic socialist. They don't mean democratic socialist. They mean communist. God damn it.
So, has he even talked about communism yet? Or did I miss that?
No, because they're hiding communism. They don't want to say communism. And this is the problem again. Like, it's the left's fault in a way that the right have conflated communism and socialism. Because all of these fucking morons are going around going, oh, I'm a socialist, comrade, and I think it's all... No, you don't know what you're talking about, and you've now enabled these other people to denigrate and destroy something that is actually fucking excellent.
So they think they're talking side where like the NHS, where everyone takes care of everyone and that. And
no, they are full blown. Like, oh, we think we need to have a full redistribution of wealth. We want to take down the banks. We want to be in charge. Everyone's going to live in anarcho-communist communities and shit like that. It's like, dude, no.
So the universal basic, or like, you know, the one amount for each
yes,
person.
everyone pays same. It's communism. Yes.
This is
everything is controlled by the state.
We don't want to put people
a way to make it better for everyone else, and that's why all the sort of speech laws come in. Because you can't say this and you can't say that because you're going to upset someone, and then we're going to have to do this, and then we're going to put you in jail. Fucking unbelievable.
Let me see
in stressful situations that they don't consent to, right? And there are right-wing infiltrators who are trying to get in here, but it's going to be really traumatic for people if we're not making an affirmative effort to de-escalate each other and de-escalate ourselves, right?
I can't believe these people really exist.
They exist.
Don't feel better before you say anything. Don't really talk to anybody who doesn't have a credential, especially if you claim to be from the press. You have no idea who that person is. Please do not talk to anybody who identifies themselves as a member of the press without having credentials.
Yeah, never talk to the press, because that would
be... Don't talk to cops. Don't talk to MAGA assholes.
Oh, God.
We're almost there. Just... but thank you.
Don't talk to cops. It's fucking ridiculous. And first of all, cops and journalists will have credentials. Anyone can get credentials. If that's your baseline of how to make sure you don't talk to the wrong people, that's a stupid baseline.
Yeah. And also, if everything that you're talking about is so fucking fragile that by mentioning it to anyone, it could potentially be broken to pieces. Obviously, it's not worth protecting that much to begin with. These people are the fucking worst. They have destroyed so much whilst trying to pretend like they're being constructive.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's exactly what I'm getting from this. I don't understand where it's like it's going nowhere. It's like
it is. It goes nowhere. It's
like us getting really drunk, going on stage, doing a podcast where we have no points where we're going or anything. You know, we don't know.
Yeah, we wouldn't have any stories. Yeah, we wouldn't even actually try and make people laugh. We just sort of sit there on the stage getting blasted off of our faces and just occasionally going, it's all right, isn't it? Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, it's good. Because
I'm also getting high, because in our minds we'll be doing loads.
Yeah, but they would achieve the same amount of fucking shit, though.
Yeah,
like politically, we would have achieved the same amount that these people have achieved by doing this podcast.
Is this supposed to be like a political party then, or something?
Oh, it's a political party. Yeah, they want political control. These people think that they are the people to lead us all into a new era of the world.
I mean, they would lead us into a new era, but that era would be
certainly be a new one.
God, yeah. Right, let's let him finish his. Go on.
We are going to be visited tomorrow by some MAGA protesters. Is there anybody here who's done abortion clinic escort work? By all means, don't talk to cops if there are cops there for any reason at all, right? And if you do see someone talking to cops, let the marshals know.
They're cops too.
We are safe and we are strong because there's power in collective work.
Oh, Jesus.
Power in collective work. Power in collective work. Doesn't that sound a lot like I served the Soviet Union? Thank you. I served the Soviet Union. Thank you, comrade.
It's just ridiculous. There's literally no rhyme or reason to it from what I could figure out there. It just felt like people, like I said, generally just starting a meeting, trying to give out some ground rules to protect people.
The thing that enrages me is just the point of personal privilege.
I think generally in comedy, there's a lot of people that just seem to give people. I think a lot of comedians are weird people, and we kind of get that about each other, which is why we're a bit more understanding. There's a lot of camaraderie in the comedy world, which is one thing that I've learned over the last few years. There's a lot of the other side too that you assume doesn't exist and you hope doesn't exist, but it exists.
Yeah, but it exists. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And those people
obvious
will keep being there.
Yeah, but there's you can see them, like it's obvious after a certain point.
Yeah, once you figured it out on a couple of people, you start to smell the stank.
Yeah, and then you just have fun with it because fuck them.
Yeah.
Oh, they're a sham of a comedian.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
Anyway,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think we're almost at 3 hours anyway, so I think we are done now, then, my man.
I think we should probably call it before it turns into an all-nighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some good.
You went through being quite drunk, and then you seem to level it out again a bit.
I've leveled out a little bit. I might have to have more.
Oh yeah, so I suppose that is goodbye from me at Kd Comedy Inc. Coming soon, there will be Maxwell the Monster, but that will be coming out soon. That will be cut. I will never see that. And then I might start doing the quiz weekly again. I'm pondering it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, and I think if I group together enough of like some of us, like yourself, Alex, Taryn, just Callum, some of the more people that are into it regularly, just have more regular people on and a few randomers each time.
Yeah,
I think that'll work better. So yeah, I'm playing around with that.
Nice.
And it's easier to quiz because I can just do it live when it's done. Cut a few clips, you know.
Yeah.
But Nathan, yourself, then what are you doing?
Yeah, Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse episode 4 has just released. Episode 1 was an average sketch show. I think your common or garden sketch show.
I enjoyed it very much so. I need to catch up with the last couple of episodes though.
Yeah. And then episode 2, I think, sort of knocks it up a level. Then episode 3 starts to tell you that this show ain't exactly what you think it is. And once you get to episode 4, you go, oh god damn, it's going there. I am really proud of what I've managed to do with episode 4, even if I say so myself and sound like a dick doing it. I don't care. I really love episode 4.
No, that's one thing that I've tried to tell myself too. It's okay to be passionate about the things you do, and it's okay to talk about them because someone's got. I've always had this opinion, like, you know, people complain about stuff not getting enough attention. It's like, well, are you talking about it enough? You know.
Yeah. So, like, I think once because the idea as well is for everyone at home is to remaster episode 1 and then release episode 5 at the same time. That should be happening fairly soon because episode 5 is already written.
Remastering episode 1. What's?
Yeah. So basically, the first episode, although I like the material in it, it's not leveled quite to the way I'd like.
Oh, okay, I got it.
And some of the sound effects aren't quite the way I'd want to use them. So what I'm going to do is go back in it, readjust all the levels, probably do that in the new Adobe software I've got as a test. And so once I've got episode 5 out, then I'm going to start pushing it, like really hardcore pushing it, trying to get it out to podcast networks and things like that, just to see if I can get it a bigger audience. So yeah,
I need to start
catch
using
it while it's at the catch it on the ground floor.
I need to start using the actual like audio. Like I pay for like an RSS feed, and I keep forgetting to use it. Like I haven't put the last couple of weeks on. Like I just keep forgetting. But for anyone who has continued to keep watching all the way till now, you can be for anyone who is still watching now, then little reward for you all. Check out this little clip from Nathan's Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse, which, as he said, you can catch anytime right now. Episode 1 to 4 available.
Hell yeah.
Dead Man Dancing, it wasn't it? On YouTube.
Dead Man Dancing on YouTube. Dead Man Dancing on SoundCloud. Oh, it's Dead Man Dancing on YouTube. Dead Man Dancing on SoundCloud and everywhere else. Post-Apocalyptic Metal Treehouse can be found on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, basically wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah. And there should be a link down the bottom because I've actually decided to do that, and I remember now because I'm good.
Very
like
nice.
That.
Very good.
And we'll have obviously the quiz. We'll have some other stuff coming out on the KD Comedy side, but from the KD Comedy Inc. and from It's Dead Man Dancing, the Dancing with Dead Men. Goodbye, everyone. We'll figure out an ending eventually. But peace out, people.
Peace.
Cheers, guy. Hey, guy.